All right, y'all, give praise, esteem, and honor to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures. For any of you think you have eternal life, and there they will testify of me. You will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come by Abba's name, and you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you to Abba. There's one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Believe Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. If you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? All esteem and praise to Abba and Shamayim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Shalom, each man. Good, sir. Shalom, Brother Herman. Shalom, Mika, Alyssa, and Derek, man. Shalom, Brother Marcus. Shalom, Mamuna. What's good, Tavon, man? You know what I'm saying? Let's get this show on the road with Proverbs 14 and 30. A sound heart is the life of the flesh. Now let's hit this 2 Chronicles 24 and 12. And the king and Yehoiada gave it to such as did the work of the service of the house of Yahuwah, and hired masons and carpenters to repair the house of Yahuwah, and such as wrought iron and brass to mend the house of Yahuwah. So the workmen wrought, and the work was perfected by them, and they set the house of Elohim in its state and strengthened it. Shalom, Jay. Come on, say it. Deuteronomy 28 and 1.
And it shall come to pass, if you shall hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command you this day, that Yahuwah your Elohim will set you on high above all nations of the earth. And all these blessings shall come on you and overtake you, if you shall hearken unto the voice.
Finish doing what she asked you to do. No, I'm sorry. Bring that fruit punch. Go ahead.
Said all these blessings shall come on you and overtake you, if you shall hearken unto the voice of Yahuwah your Elohim. Blessed you be in the city, Baruch you be in the field, Baruch the fruit of your body, and the fruit of your ground, and the fruit of your cattle, the increase of your kind, and the flocks of your sheep. Baruch your basket and your store. Baruch you when you come in, and Baruch you when you come up, when you go out. Yahuwah shall cause your enemies that rise up against you to be smitten before your face. They shall come out against you one way and flee before you 7 ways. Yahuwah shall command the blessing upon you in your storehouses, and in all that you set your hand unto. He shall baruch you in the land which Yahuwah your Elohim give you. Yahuwah shall establish you a Kadash people unto himself, as he has sworn unto you, if you shall keep the commandments of Yahuwah your Elohim and walk in his ways. And all the people of the earth shall see that you are called by the name of Yahuwah. They shall be afraid of you. Yahuwah shall make you plenteous in goods, in the fruit of your body, and in the fruit of your cattle, and in the fruit of your ground, in the land which Yahuwah swore unto your fathers to give you. Yahuwah shall open unto you his good treasure, Shamahim, to give the rain unto your land in its season, and to baruch all the work of your hand. You shall lend unto many nations, you shall not borrow. Yahuwah shall make you the head and not the tail. You shall be above only, you shall not be beneath. That you hearken unto the commandments of Yahuwah your Elohim, which I command you this day to observe and to do. You shall not go aside from any of the words which I command you this day, the right hand or to the left, to go after other gods to serve them.
That's good. That's good. So, you know, we've hit the city. We got to deal with the field. The field and the fruit of the body, it's going to be one and the same. Fruit of the body is parei beten. Of course, you know, parei is pei, rosh, and yad, and that's fruit, produce, offspring, children, progeny of the womb. And then body, of course, is beten, which is the belly, the womb, the body, the abdomen, the depth of Sheol. So, with that being said, Genesis 49 and 22. Servant, what's happening with you, homie?
Joseph, a fruitful bow by a well, branches run over the wall. The archers have
bow and branches, everybody. What does that represent according to the words that are actually written there? What are bows and what are the branches?
Bow is a son.
Y'all done forgot already? Remember, bow is ben, or ban, that's sons. Branches is bat, that's daughters. 2 Corinthians 6 and 17. Well, 6 and 14. I'll just rehash it on general principle.
Be you not unequally yoked together with unbelievers, for what fellowship have righteousness with unrighteousness? What communion have light with darkness? What concord have Mashiach with Belial? Or what part have he that believe with an infidel? What agreement have the temple of Elohim with idols? For you are the temple of the living Elohim. As Elohim have said, I will dwell in them and walk in, and I will be their Elohim, they shall be my people. Wherefore come out you from among them.
And be what?
Separate.
And I what?
Touch not the unclean, and I will receive you. And will be an Abba unto you, and you shall be my sons and daughters.
See that there? See, I told you this. We talked about this, what unequally yoked really mean according to your law. You seen it in Nehemiah, you seen it in Ezra, you see it in Deuteronomy. That's not marrying a sinner. You can sit there and you can see the other nations, but at the end of the day, those people worship other gods, they were sinners. That's why he said, how can you be yoked with an unbeliever? Unequally yoked ain't got nothing to do with your political stance. It ain't got nothing to do with financial. It ain't got nothing to do with education. How in the world do you say you a servant of Yahuwah? Shalom, Brother Dave, man. And you go marry a Baal worshiper, an Ashtaroth worshiper. You can try to spin it and grin it any way you want to. It's not going to work, because the person who worship the other God, they're going to destroy you. You know what I'm talking about? You're not going to destroy them. You know why you know you're not going to destroy them? Because for you to destroy them, you would have to leave. And most people who worship Yahuwah, who is infatuated, lusting after, or emotionally attached to an idolater, ain't going to leave. You know what ends up happening? You end up converting to what they got going on, or you compromise your service to Yahuwah and lie to yourself that you're serving Yahuwah while you doing the rituals that this person got. See, a lot of people tell you all this stuff, and you can listen to them if you want to, and you're going to find yourself in a place you don't want to be. Now, you can do what you want to do because you're grown. You know what I'm talking about? But the text has warned you. See, let me show you an example. I meant to read this to you. Wednesday, Proverbs chapter 5. Tell me what verse 10 say.
It say, let strangers be filled with your wealth and your labors in the house of a stranger.
Back me up to 5. The reason why I'm talking about this is because you heard him say in Deuteronomy 28, for you to be blessed, you're not going to go aside after other gods. Go ahead. Tell me what 5 and 5 say.
Say, her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell.
Verse 1. It's the whole thing, man.
My son, attend unto my wisdom, bow your ear to my understanding.
Listen what he said. He said, you need to obey and hearken to my wisdom, and do what with that understanding?
Bow your ear.
You better listen.
That you may regard discretion, and your lips may keep knowledge.
Tell them what discretion is, man. See, a lot of people don't regard discretion, and it be to your own detriment.
Mezamah, that's purpose, discretion, device, or plot.
He said, man, you better regard your plots and plans and devices and what you got going on. Read it again.
My son, attend unto my wisdom, bow your ear to my understanding, that you may regard discretion, and your lips may keep knowledge.
That your lips might do what?
Keep knowledge.
Listen what else he said.
For the lips of a strange woman drop a honeycomb, and her mouth smoother than oil.
Tell him what a strange woman is.
That's Zor, to be strange, to be a stranger, to become estranged.
A harlot. All jokes aside, right? What is a strange woman? That strange woman, what did he tell? What did we read in Deuteronomy 7? In Deuteronomy 7, he said, don't give your sons to their daughters unless she calls you to go after another god. Ain't that what it said? Then that's what happened to Solomon. Now, you niggas can be out here and you can be dumb if you want to. And you can go fool with this strange woman. He says the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb. They smooth as oil. See, let me tell you what also is a strange woman for you goofy niggas in the back. See, a strange woman, it will come in with new age philosophies and try to mix them with the word. See, a strange woman will try to bring in, and when I say new age philosophies, I'm talking about basically no stuff from Babylon, stuff from Egypt. The melding and the mixing of the masculine and feminine. That ain't nothing in this text, man. That's Egyptian stuff. That Babylonian stuff. That's Sumerian stuff. See, the brothers were talking about, how many of y'all are familiar with the Epic of Gilgamesh? Are you familiar with the Epic of Gilgamesh? You familiar with the Epic of Gilgamesh? I heard of it. I only read it one time. I ain't read all of it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't get through it all. I think I was in prison. You know what I'm saying? Who on here is familiar with the epic? You know, that's the part. It's got the flood story, and you know, it's got stories about all the, like, y'all don't be realizing they make these gods and they humanize them. And then they tell you that these are the creators of all things. You're supposed to be able to sit back and pause and be like, there's no distinction between these gods and you. You say you want to read it? He said, you got a copy of it? You still ain't read all of it, though. Now, I'm mentioning this because we were talking about this the other day, right? And I told you it before. If you're not rock solid with the word, you know, read all those things at your own risk because you could be swayed. You know what I'm talking about? But what I'm mentioning these things for is it's elements of this stuff, right? It's a lot of stuff they'll say that the Israelites did that's not in the word, and they try to make it seem like that's what the word say to do. Just because these people did this stuff don't mean that that's what Yahuwah instructed them to do. But I remember being in prison, man, reading about where all, you know, the zodiac sign stuff come from. You know what I'm talking about? As far as like their origins in Egypt and the things that they represent. You're supposed to already know the Ankh is the symbolizing of a man's penis and a woman's vagina. Just like I know that y'all know that the obelisk or the Washington Monument and the reflecting pool is a phallus symbol and a woman's vagina. See, what people don't realize is when they come with the masculine and feminine type stuff, what they're really trying to do, they're not trying to tell you that the creator has masculine and feminine sides. What you don't realize is you're being duped into worshiping the regenerative powers of genitalia. You know what I'm talking about? That's what you don't realize is happening. And the reason why you don't realize this is happening is because you've let these people bring you into a gender war, a man versus woman, and this, that, there, and the third, where you feel like the woman needs to elevate herself equal or above the man, like they said in antiquity, and you don't realize Satan is pulling the wolves over your eyes, boy, he finna get you. Because what most people don't realize is when they pull you in to the gender aspect and want you to balance out the creator to be masculine and feminine, they really trying to slide whoredom on you. What you think the Egyptian god Happy was? What you think the Baphomet is? See, bump all the devil worshiping stuff that they got going on. The Baphomet is an androgynous deity. That's right, Sister Janina. He's an androgynous deity. Happy is an androgynous deity. You don't realize that all this transgender stuff going on is to get you to be in a state of androgyny, of being male and female simultaneously with no regard for either, that you could fluidly and effortlessly move in between the two. You don't realize that you're getting God. You don't know where this stuff comes from. Yahuwah don't sanction none of this. Because with Yahuwah, you don't have to do anything. See, there's no male and female with Yahuwah. It's male and female with Adam, though, because the woman came out of the man. So that's why he tell you if you join yourself to your wife, you become one flesh, because there's supposed to be some accordness, a one heart, a one mind. You know what the Lord showed you with in Ephesians 4. That's what it's supposed to be. All this other stuff, that's European stuff you getting caught up with. When I say European stuff, I'm talking about really Babylonian and Egyptian stuff, man. That's the stuff you getting caught up with, and you falling for a hook, line, and sinker. See, gender wars are for stupid people. When I say stupid people, I mean people who make the same decision over and over again, but don't realize that you see the truth before your face, but you still want to try to get a different outcome from the same action. That's why I didn't say insanity. See, insanity is doing something over and over again, expecting the same result. You know this ain't you know this not right, but you still doing it anyway, hoping it's gonna be different. Man, let me tell you something, man. When you talk about deceit with the devil, man, that nigga smooth with it, man. Smooth with it. Man, let me tell you something, man. When you if you was to really sit down, man, I'm not even being fun. I'm dead serious right now. I'm not trying to crack no jokes. I'm not trying to be humorous. That's Dante's Inferno. You thinking? Yeah, I remember that one. I don't think I read that. Get the likes up on YouTube, by the way. So check it, right? I'm being dead serious right now. When you see somebody who feels like he has to overly exert his masculinity and like, oh, I'm dominant, I'm this, I'm that, because a dominant man is a dominant man. You know it when he walks in the room, or you know about how he moves or how he rules his own life. That's somebody who's overcompensating for a level of insecurity, a level of damage, and a level of hurt. And this is his way of projecting so that you can't come close to these vulnerabilities that he possessed. On the opposite side of that spectrum, when you run across a woman who feels like the feminine divine nature and all this other stuff, and especially if she used the term patriarchal. Because nigga, you didn't even come up with that. The patriarchy and all that other type of stuff, you getting involved in something that ain't got nothing to do with you. But I mentioned that when you hear these type of terms, that's a young woman or older woman or whatever age woman who has a bevy of insecurities. And she's trying to cover up those insecurities by telling herself that she should elevate herself above a man and interact with a man in a certain type of way to cope with the fact that she's trying to overcompensate for things that she lacks. Do you know what I'm talking about? And you could take it for a joke, and you could think that I'm just talking just for the sake of talking. And no, I'm not a professional, but I do understand human nature, and I know insecurities are overcompensation when I see it. You know what I'm talking about? I know it when I see it. And I'm telling you, people who get engaged in those type of things, that is overcompensation for a bevy of insecurities. That is what that is. So yeah, they do love saying that. And I'm gonna tell you something. And I told some of y'all this before. And a brother did a stream on it the other day, and I agree with it wholeheartedly. Have y'all heard people say that men are sexually attracted to women, but emotionally attracted to their friends? They say, I'm gonna tell you something, right? Women the same way, but see, they try to cover it up. And you know how this is the case? Because I done told you this here. When your woman wants you to do everything that she's supposed to do with her homegirls, that is a woman who really want a woman. She don't want a man. And I'm mentioning this here because see that them lips that are smooth, you know what I'm saying? There's oil dropping like honeycomb, trying to tell you, come do a spa date with me. Come do this here with me. All the stuff that you would expect she would do with her friends. You know what I'm talking about? Like I told you before, I don't want to be the man to replace your best friend. Why as a man would I want to be in the role as your best friend replacing your female friends? Why would I want to do that? Why are you even encouraging me to do that? You're encouraging me to be emotionally available with you like you are with your friends. You want a woman. I done told you that before. A lot of the stuff that these ladies describe in 2024, you want a woman. You want a man to be a woman and a man at the same time. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. I don't care what the people say. There's no such thing as the balance of masculine and feminine energies. It doesn't exist. Because you either feminine or you masculine. You can't balance the both. Have you ever seen a masculine, feminine man? Because if that nigga got feminine leanings, ain't no masculinity in him nowhere. That nigga a hoe. You know what I'm talking about? And have you ever seen a feminine, masculine woman? She don't exist because if she's a masculine woman, she's a ball buster. She's very difficult to deal with, very unpleasant, and nobody wants to be around her. You can't be both. How many times I told you, man, if you're dealing in a dynamic, man, in an interpersonal relationship, somebody got to be masculine and somebody got to be feminine. If the man is weak and feminine, then the woman is naturally going to be masculine in an interaction. It's one or the other. There is no balance, my nigga. I keep telling y'all, boy, that's pagan stuff, man. Not even say pagan stuff. That is idolatrous worship of other people and cultures, the yin and the yang, all that. Man, that's not that, man. Who ain't never told you that? Shalom, brother Shaul. Who ain't never told you that? He ain't never intimated at nothing like that. And all you need to do is take your feelings out to play and sit back and look at human interactions. Just look at human interactions. It could be your own personal interactions. It could be the interactions of people around you. You could just sit back and observe and keep your mouth closed. You have never seen any man who balances being masculine and feminine and he was effective in his role. You ain't never seen it. You ain't never seen it because it don't exist. You ain't never seen a woman who balanced being masculine and feminine and she was successful in her role. It doesn't exist. But guess what you were? You were stupid enough to believe it existed because a bald-headed scallywag heifer hoe who ain't never had no man of substance love her any day in her life told you that it could work. Because old tender dick, sweet booty, goofy head nigga told you it could work and no man on the planet want to be like this nigga. But you listening to this nigga. See, when I say that, I case in point, and that's not to say that this man is like this. I'm just using him as an example because a lot of women uplift this man. Russell Wilson may be a very good human being, but outside of him making a lot of money playing professional football, I don't believe there's any man on earth that would want to be him, that would want to be in his shoes or want to trade their life with him other than the fact of the financials. And shoot, anybody can have more money than. See, this is the thing with a lot niggas will trade their life for a nigga with more money and then realize I would have rather been poor. You know why? Because this man might not have the character or the intestinal fortitude that you would want to desire to live with. Because you don't get to bring your character and personality with you. See, that's something a lot of women don't realize. It doesn't matter how much you like a man if other men don't want to be like him. What do I mean by other men want to be like him? Meaning he has a level of understanding, knowledge, and wisdom and success in his life that other men would pattern their life after. They would look at what he was doing and say, I want to model myself after this, or I want to take elements of what he did. Ain't nobody looking at that man doing that. Hell, you know, he's popular right now because he's getting dissed on a lot of records. Nobody want to be Drake. I'm not saying that because the nigga dissing him. I'm telling you that because it's the reality of life. So what, he got a lot of money. Don't nobody want to be this nigga. And that's without the pedophile accusation. Because if a nigga's a pedophile, I hope you wouldn't want to follow in the footsteps of a nigga who like underage vagina. Yeah, buddy. Read that for me again. Proverbs 5:3. You can take it for what you want to. You can be offended by it. I truly don't give a damn. I'm just telling you the truth. And I done told y'all this before. It's not like the first time I done never said it. You know what I'm talking about? There is no such thing as a balance. And I'm going to tell you another thing too, man, contrary to popular belief. A man cannot balance a woman out and a woman can't balance a man out. That's not how that works. Where y'all get this stuff from? That's the same way people telling you sex is spiritual. Ain't nothing spiritual about you having sex with nobody. Ain't no spirit involved. Ain't no lust spirit involved. Ain't no Holy Spirit involved. Ain't nothing involved but vaginal fluids and seminal fluids. That's the only thing involved. What you call a soul tie is an emotional attachment. And if you understood what emotional attachment was, you wouldn't be walking around here talking about you got to break a soul tie. Because you niggas is goofy. And when I say goofy, I'm talking about Goof Troop, the cartoon, nigga. You remember that cartoon you used to watch? Yeah, my homeboy spit his first rap over that theme song on my front porch. So did. You know what I'm saying? Dead serious though. There's no such thing. Ain't nothing spiritual about having sex. How is it spiritual having sex and this man say you unclean after you do it? That man say if your seed of copulation go from you, you unclean, the woman unclean, and anything that seed go on unclean. But it's spiritual though. You can't be that damn stupid. Why? Because a freak hoe told you it was spiritual? That's what's wrong with you niggas. You niggas listen to freak hoes, man. Shalom, brother Robert, man. You better stop listening to them slut hoes, man. You better stop listening to these whoremongering dudes out here, man. Go ahead, bro. Proverbs 5:3.
For the lips of a strange woman drop as a honeycomb, her mouth smoother than oil, but her end is bitter as wormwood.
That man say her end bitter as wormwood, and her what?
Sharp as a two-edged sword.
And her feet go down to what?
To death.
And her step take hold of what?
On hell.
Now, why you unequally yoked with an unbeliever? This man just told you, boy. He can tell you from experience. This is Solomon telling you from experience. Don't you go around there fooling with them strange women, boy. Come on, man.
Lest you should ponder the path of life, her ways are movable. You cannot know them.
Pause. Tell him what movable is, man. He said her ways are movable. I'm telling you this here because Deuteronomy 28, the biggest thing that stopped Israel from being blessed was worshiping other gods. And you know how a lot of Israelites started worshiping other gods? Chasing after booty. That's what happened in Numbers 25, didn't it? Mm-hmm. We can look at it. Chasing after booty get men in trouble. Every single solitary time. Because you ain't going to care what she talking about because you want them yams. And you'll compromise things you ain't ought to compromise because you want them yams because you're too pressed because you're thinking with your little head. And that's what's wrong with you. I'm not being funny or nothing. I'm dead serious. That's what's wrong with you. I don't care if you're married or not. That's what's wrong with you. You think with your penis and you compromise things you ought not for a chance at some loving. Boy, what's wrong with you? You can't be that pressed for physical intimacy and pleasure. There's no way in the world they feel that good to you that you'll compromise things you ought not for a little piece of vagina. Are you serious, my nigga? Come on, bro. What's moving?
That's nuad, to quiver, to totter, to shake, to reel, to stagger, to wander, to move, to sift, to make move, to wave, to waver, to tremble, to be unstable.
Her ways are unstable. That man say, you can't know that. Man, y'all ain't never noticed, man, freak hoes, man, they ain't never stable. How can they be stable? They not emotionally stable. If you ain't emotionally stable, you ain't mentally stable. And when you ain't mentally stable, your ways ain't gonna be stable because you're gonna be like this here, James 1:1. That's why you can't mess with a woman who's a strange woman. Know what I'm talking about? This ain't go for all women. We talking about this is a sinner woman, man. We talking about this an unbelieving woman, man. We talking about an idolater. So I don't know any of you ladies who should be on here should be offended at none of this unless you an idolater in your heart. Because this ain't for you. You know who this for? This for any man on here who ain't got no husband. And this is for you to make sure you teach your son like he doing here in Proverbs 5. Boy, don't you be fooling with them unbelieving idolatrous hoes, boy. Because this is what's going to happen to you. See, man, I done told you this plenty of time before, man. You don't look a child in the face and tell him not to do something. You sit down and you say, come here, son, sit down at my feet and receive my wisdom. Let me give you some game. Let me tell you why you ought not to do something. Then let me tell you what's going to happen to you if you do it. See, that's taking the time to instruct, not just telling somebody not to do something. Nigga, that's lazy as hell. They don't understand the significance of your words. If I say, hey, don't put your hand on the stove, what does that mean? Other than don't put your hand on the stove. Would you need to add on the caveat? The stove is hot. Let me show you what happens with heat. It burns. And when it burns, you're going to have pain. You're going to understand. You stick your hand on that stove, nigga, and your hand going to burn. And you know what you're going to come back and tell me? Hot. Hot. But I had already explained that to you. I told you that before, man. You have to sit down. You got to explain it to him. This is what's going to happen. Hold on. Say for the that's right. That's what's going to happen. You know what I'm talking about? Remember, man, this man just said that woman words, her end is like a sharp two-edged sword. Boy, it's going to cut you deep down to your soul, nigga. Back it up, man, with bitter in verse 4, man. Tell them what that bitter is, man. That bitter wormwood, man. You know what wormwood is, ain't it? That's that gall, nigga.
Bitter is more, bitter or bitterness.
Go ahead and give me Ecclesiastes 7:25 on general print.
I applied my heart to know and to search, to seek out wisdom and the reason, and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman.
He said, I find more bitter than death the who?
The woman
whose end
heart is snares and nets.
He said, our hearts like snares and nets.
And her hands is bands.
And what?
Whoso please Elohim shall escape from her.
Well, if you please God, boy, he'll never let you get caught up with no strange woman.
But the sinner shall be taken by her.
Tell him what please mean, man. What does it mean if you please God? Told. That is he that is good. He that is pleasant. Will make you good and pleasant in his sight. That you believe his word and you keep his will. He won't let you get caught up with no freak hoe. You know why? Because you're going to attend unto his wisdom and bow your ear to his understanding, and you're going to move along. But like you read in Proverbs 7, I looked out my window to behold the simple ones, to see those who lack understanding. You're going to go down to the pits of hell with that one. Because you know that woman don't love God. I be getting mad at these Hebrew when they talking about all these Hebrew women just hoes and head wraps on. Well, who told you to find out? What do I mean by that? Because if you a godly man, then you should have already been observing this woman for her character. That's what you're supposed to have been doing. See, if you meet a woman and you say, hey, I'm in the word, you in the word, I want a wife, I want to marry you, then there's supposed to be a time period where you're interacting with this woman. And you're supposed to be observing her character, not looking at how her hips sway, not seeing if her cheeks jiggle, not staring at her bosom all day. Not trying to go out on a date and have fun all the time. But you're supposed to have been sitting back and observing what manner of character this woman is. And you men don't be doing that. So then you get a woman just because she say she served God, but she was a strange woman the whole time because you didn't put her in the proper situations and circumstances. You didn't have the proper conversations for her to reveal her heart to you. Because the only thing you were trying to get her to do was reveal her loins to you. And then once you got a taste of them sweet yams, you didn't care no more about the fact that this woman showing you clearly she a disciplinary problem. Showing you clearly that she has a lack of respect for authority. Showing you clearly that she has idols in her heart. Showing you clearly that she has a multitude of damage. You weren't paying attention to none of that. Because you was worrying about the next time you was going to get a little tickle in your pickle. And now you crying about her being the woman she was from the day you met her. Nigga, don't nobody feel sorry for you. That's why you ain't blessed, dummy. Because you ain't good before God eyesight. That's why he let you get caught up with that hoe. Come on, man. Proverbs 5:4 one more time.
But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell.
Lest you should ponder.
The path of life, her ways are movable.
That man say, lest you should ponder what?
The path of life.
Tell him what ponder mean, man. See, you didn't think about the word then. You didn't think about your old rock or your dull rock. You didn't think about it. Path.
That's palas, to weigh, to make level, to balance, to weigh out, to make level or smooth.
You didn't put it in a just weight and a just balance, now did you? Deuteronomy 25, man. Tell me what verse 9 say. See, if you want to be blessed, you have to pay attention to certain things. You need to ponder out the path of life. You need to weigh it in the balance. Ain't that right, Steve? Mm-hmm. That's what the book says. Come on.
Say, then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders. We don't need all that. And his name shall be called in Yasharal. The house.
On down. We don't want to talk about a man who had a shoe loose. We don't talk about it. Just get to the point when they say you need to keep a just weight and just balance.
Verse 13.
Deuteronomy 25:13.
Say, you shall not have in your bag diverse weights, a great and a small.
You should not have in your bag diverse weights.
You shall not have in your house diverse measures, a great and a small, but you shall have a perfect and just weight.
A perfect and just weight.
A perfect and just measure shall you have.
A perfect and just measure you must have.
That your days may be lengthened in the land which Yahuwah your Elohim give you. For all that do such things, all that do unrighteously, an abomination unto Yahuwah your Elohim.
An abomination to who?
Yahuwah your Elohim.
Give him Proverbs 11:1.
A false balance, abomination to Yahuwah, but a just weight, his delight.
Tell him what delight is. Let's make sure it's kafats, man.
That's rason.
Rason, that's pleasant. You want to have a just weight. Proverbs 16:11.
A just weight and balance, Yahuwah's.
All what?
Weights of the bag, his work.
Tell him what weights is, man. Tell him what bag is. Tell him what work is. I don't know who Amanda Sullivan is, young blood.
Weights is a bin, a stone, a common stone.
Shalom, Emma.
Precious stones, stones containing metal.
Hold on.
Weight.
What kind of stones?
Precious stones.
Precious stones. You know what we got to do, right? 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 4. Again, I'm only talking to y'all about this because y'all got sons, man. Now, you can see this in the text. He's telling you what type of woman to... Let me tell you something, man. When you look at a majority of the kings who got caught up with idol worship, you know how they got caught up with idol worship? They wife. Who got Ahab caught up in idol worship? Jezebel. Who got Solomon caught up in idol worship? His wives. This is why he's telling you, keep yourself away from that. And I'm focusing on this here because they ended the Deuteronomy 28 with the blessings on not going aside to other gods. Other gods is what stops you from being blessed more than anything. Look here, man, let me tell you something, man. You can rectify not keeping the Sabbath. You can rectify a feast day. You can rectify the thoughts and intents of your heart. But I'm telling you something, man, he told you this in Proverbs 30. He says, it's a lot of things I've seen that I don't understand. The way of a man would have made was one of them. See, a man with a woman who he desires, he can lose all common sense. And he'll go aside after other gods instead of staying steadfast to his God. And Solomon is warning you. Don't do it. Remember, he's sitting here telling his son what not to do. And again, listen, this is not, again, I'm going to reiterate this here. This is not for all women. No woman in this house, on this clubhouse, or on this YouTube should be offended with none of this, because you shouldn't be a strange woman. I'm being serious. None of this applies to y'all unless you're a strange woman in your heart. Then that would apply to you. So what is this information for? For you to teach your son. You know, as a woman, you can still sit down and teach your son about what type of woman to avoid the same way as daddy can. And the number one way you can do it is make sure that you're the type of woman that you wouldn't be telling him not to fool with. It's right. I keep telling you, man, we got a lot of kids, man. You got to have something to give them. You just can't be telling them, don't mess with no woman who ain't in the word. What that mean? What is that going to do for him?
It'll make him curious.
It either make him curious, or he not going to understand what that means to understand why that would be detrimental for him. I said it once this evening. I'm going to say it again. I've told you this plenty of times. You have to teach with understanding. You don't tell someone not to do something without teaching and explaining why this could be detrimental. I'm not talking about teaching with the condemnation, you understand? I'm talking about teaching with understanding. Son, this is what's going to happen if you make this decision. This is the possible outcome. This is not the outcome you want for your life. Now, I can't make you do nothing, but I've given you the information. What you do after that, son, that's on you, baby. I just hope you take heed. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. You can't do nothing any more than that. You can't do nothing but teach them and pray that God give them a mind to take heed. But if you ain't taught them, then hey, man, just get ready. They're going to make some bad decisions. They're going to make some bad decisions. Now, of course, you do have some elements that is difficult to overcome, and that's if your child don't live in your house with you and they have other influences from other people. Then outside of that, that's a whole nother conversation. You know what I'm talking about? Because ain't but so much you can do with that. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Ain't but so much you can do with that. All you can hope is you got a greater influence than the other influence. But if they up under your roof, all you can do is be a positive influence, not just with your words, but with your deeds. Your words have more weight when you live them. Your words have no weight if you don't live what you say. I learned that at a very early age. Your words have way more power if your actions are aligned with the words that you speak. But if your actions aren't in line with the words that you speaking, the words ain't got no power when they enter into the hearts of men. They don't. You can't tell somebody not to smoke cigarettes and you smoking them. I'm telling you this from true life. I remember I told you before, man. Y'all have mercy on the soul, man. Man, when Lil Richie and Lil Nicky talking about they wanted to sell dope, even though we telling them don't sell dope, I already knew they wasn't gonna listen to what we were saying because we were selling dope. At 21 years old, I knew that. How am I gonna tell this little nigga not sell no crack and he watched me sell crack every day? I can tell him why he don't want to fool with this. I can tell him the things that come along with it, but all he sees is the money. He don't care about what you talking about. My words ain't hold no weight with him. No matter if I was telling him right or not. It don't hold no weight. Always remember and consider that when you sitting down teaching your kids, man. Remember, let me not say your kids. I don't think y'all got no goats at the house. To your children. You know what I'm talking about? Come on with it, man. Proverbs 5 and 4. I need to swing back to Psalm 1. Because I'm telling you how you're going to be blessed in the fruit of his body. See, I'm leading the son because they say he's going to be blessed with the offspring of his womb, which means we have to rehash Mashiach giving birth. You understand? We have to rehash how he is Eve. He's the mother of all living, just like Eve was. He has to fulfill her work too. See, a lot of people talk about this. Say we didn't talk, but y'all know this. There's righteous women in this book. This man had to, because how is he going to be an aid and a helper and a relief to a woman unless he do their work also? I know that's hard for people to understand. See, that's not the balance of masculine and feminine like we were talking about. That's the love and kindness and compassion of your maker. That's what that is. That's how he can save you in childbirth. That's how he can reverse, even when you got pain from the curse in Genesis 3, he could be that stay and help. Remember now, the man say what 2 or 3 gathered in his name, he agreed. Don't you realize that if that baby and you and that baby, you won? So guess what that would mean? That's 2 of y'all, right? If you pray on their behalf while you in childbirth, guess what that means? That means he right there with you. But see, we don't consider none of that. We don't consider none of that. Your God is a faithful and merciful God. You know what I'm talking about? That's why I say it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren, that he might be a faithful and merciful high priest. See, we're going to get to something, because brother had mentioned it. I already had the verse on tuck in Ezekiel. When he say the pasture of my flock of men. You know what word for men is used there, right? Adam. And now we're going to take that back to Genesis 5:1. God bless Brother Smoke. We take that back to Genesis 5:1, and you get some understanding. Because Yahuwah and Yasharal are a God. They won. I mean, they're joined. See, I know people talk about oneness. I don't know what the hell that is. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just know niggas on this app be talking about it. I don't know what that is. I don't care to find out what it is. But what I do know what a cod is. And we all supposed to be a cod. You're supposed to be a cod. Shalom, Brother Mom. You're supposed to be a cod with your brethren. You're supposed to be a cod with your assembly. You're supposed to be a cod with your wife. You're supposed to be a cod with your children. And most importantly, you're supposed to be a cod with your Elohim. Your Elohim was a cod with his son. That means they're one. The same way you seen Jacob lay his hands on Ephraim and Manasseh and make them one with him, that they may receive the blessing of the covenant. What you think the Son of God did? See, we don't pay it because we theological too much, and you're not godly. I remember the first time I heard somebody say, you so heavenly minded, you ain't no earthly good. I said, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. If your mind in heaven, how couldn't you not be any good on the earth? The only reason I ain't no good to you because you're carnal. Because the book told you to set your affections in heaven. So at that point, I guess you would say that the Lord was too heavenly minded to be any earthly good, because he said, I'm from above and not from beneath. Like, we say stupid stuff. To stay, well, the reason why I say we say stupid stuff, to stay the same way. And why I mention this is, this stops you from being blessed. You can't be carnal and be blessed. You can't work the works of the flesh and be blessed, because they're diametrically opposed to one another. So how can his blessings overtake you if you won't forsake the things that can stops him from blessing you? Because it's his desire to do that. But you got to have a desire to want to take them on. Come on, man.
I was holding the 1 Peter 2:4.
Read that 1 Peter 2:4, man.
Said, to whom coming a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of Elohim, precious. Yea, also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house, Kadash priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices. Acceptable to Elohim.
He said they were
Lively stones.
Ain't that what he said that path of life was about? Mm-hmm. Oh, no, them weights, excuse me. Said they were lively stones, didn't he? He said the lively stone, precious stones. That's what he said, right? Read that verse again. What is verse 4? 1 Peter 2:4.
Say, to whom coming a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of Elohim, precious. Yea, also as lively stones are built up a spiritual house, a Kadash priesthood, to offer up spiritual sacrifices, acceptable to Elohim by Yahushua HaMashiach.
Go back to Proverbs 16 and 11. Read that again.
A just weight and balance, Yahuwah's, all the weights of his bag, his work. An abomination.
What was weights again? I see you bald now. I see you bald.
That's a bin, a stone, a common stone, a stone, precious stones, stones of fire, stones containing metal, a weight, a plummet, just stones of destruction.
Now tell him what work is, man. He said all the weights in his bag are you.
That's my asa, deed or work.
Now go to Ephesians 1 and 4. Everyone that is godly are the weights in his bag. That's what he just told you, is it not? Okay. And that man said every weight in his bag, they're his work. That means he fashioned them. He made them. He said, just weight and balance are Yahuwah's, and all the weights are his. Now read Ephesians 1:4 and let that consider in your mind.
According as he have chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be Kadash, without blame before him in love, having predestinated us unto the adoption of sons by Yahushua HaMashiach to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will, to the praise of the esteem of his mercy, wherein he hath made us accepted in the beloved, in whom we have redemption through his blood, the forgiveness of sins, according to the riches of his mercy, wherein he have abounded toward us in all wisdom and prudence, having made known unto us the mystery of his will, according to his good pleasure, which he hath purposed in himself, that in the dispensation of the fullness of times he might gather together in one all things in Mashiach.
Paul, do you see how he just told you all the weights in his bags are his work? You his handiwork, you his craftsmanship. Let's come back to Proverbs 5, man, and verse 6. That's why he said you need to ponder on the path of life. See, you got to sit back and look at the pathway. Matter of fact, give me Proverbs 4, man, real quick, like, man. Give me Proverbs 4, man, verse 23. See, this is another thing that stops us from being blessed in the beloved, as he just stated, or accepted in the beloved. However you want to look at it. This is what stops us. Proverbs 4:23. We don't do this right here.
Keep your heart with all diligence.
Keep your heart with all what?
Diligence.
Keep your heart with all what?
Diligence.
Why?
For out of it the issues of life.
Tell them what diligence and issues is, man. See, one thing it is, you don't guard your mind.
Diligence is mishmar, place of confinement, prison, guard, jail, prison, or guard.
Man, that man said he said, man, you got to guard and observe your mind like you in jail. Now, praise you who ain't none of y'all never been to jail. When you in jail, you got to be on point. You got to watch. You got to guard yourself. You got to protect yourself at all times. You ever seen a boxing match? And that's what the referee tell you. You remember when Floyd Mayweather hit that dude? Man, they got mad when the dude tried to come give him a hug. I think he had hit Floyd with a low blow, man. He did something, and the referee came in the middle. Then after he told him to fight, the dude came in to give him a hug, and Floyd rocked him dead in his mouth. And everybody talking about that was a sucker punch. Let me tell you something. You can't never hit a man with a sucker punch when you look at him in his eyes. That's not my fault you weren't ready. That's not my fault you had your hands up. What your stupid behind coming trying to give me a hug in a fight for, I'll never know. You know what I'm talking about? But one thing the referee tell you right before the fight starts, you hear him say it all the time, protect yourself at all times. Man, look here, man, Yahuwah telling you the same thing. You better protect yourself at all times. You better guard your mind at all times. Tell them what issues is, man.
Tosa, an outgoing, a border, a going out, extremity, end, source, escape. A source or border issues.
You know, that's the same thing that's in Psalm 68. Y'all know what it says? That same word is used in Psalm 68. I'm going to read it to you. Right here in Psalm 68. I can't read it to you because I ain't got that page in my book. Give me Psalm 68 and 20.
Or Elohim, the Elohim of salvation. Unto Elohim, the Lord, the issues from death.
That's an escape from death. That man told you your escape from death is right in your mind. You better protect it. You got to protect it. Proverbs 4:23. And ain't nobody going to do it for you. You got to do it for yourself. Proverbs 4:23.
So keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it the issues of life.
Put away what?
From you a froward mouth.
And perverse lips.
Put far from you.
Let your eyes look where?
Right on.
Let your eyelids look where?
Look straight before you.
That's why I say narrow is the way and straight is the gate that be the life, and it be few that find it. Come on, man. Ponder what?
The path of your feet.
Ponder what?
The path of your feet.
And
let all your ways be established.
And turn you not to the right.
Hand nor to the left.
To remove
your foot from evil.
Didn't he just tell you that in Deuteronomy 28 and verse 14, man? You better not turn to the right hand nor to the left. You got to keep it straight, baby. Because you might find something on the left hand or the right hand side get you in trouble. So when you come back to Proverbs 5 and 6, he say, man, you need to ponder the path of your feet, because he already told you the strange woman, her feet go down to the death and her steps take hold on hell. She gonna take you to the grave. Where Ahab went. She gonna take you to the grave, man. And again, remember, we talking about being unequally yoked with an unbeliever. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. She can have a Hebrew name. She can have a head wrap on. She can have fringes at the bottom of her dress and be an unbeliever. And if you've been in the word and you ain't wise enough to have the discernment to tell the difference, that raggedy hoe ought to take you down. Because I don't feel sorry for you. Because I'm going to tell you something, man. If you've been in the word for at least 5 years, man, you should have enough wisdom to be able to tell an unbeliever from a believer. And if you ain't, that means you've been playing for the last 60 months of your life. You deserve what you get. I can see a young man getting caught up, but these dudes be in their mid-30s and 40s. Talking about these women are this, these women are that. No, you a fool. Because you're supposed to have been able to do what that song said. You know what that song said? Walk on by. You're supposed to have been able to walk on by. You ain't supposed to have nothing negative to say about that woman. You ain't supposed to have nothing other to say then I'm good. I'm going to walk on by. I don't know the tune that song was sung in. That's why I ain't singing. I can hear it in my head, but I can't replicate it. You know what I'm talking about? Just walk on by. That's all. I'm going to tell you something. Men who got godly women ain't on the internet complaining and crying, talking about these women are this, these women are that, because they chose right the first time. They ain't got them problems. Their wife don't give them no trouble. See, Solomon finna tell you about when your wife don't give you no trouble, man. Come on, man.
Say, hear me now, therefore, O you children, depart not from the words of my mouth. Remove your way far from her. Come not near the door of her house.
Look what this man had told you to do. He said, remove yourself far from this woman and don't go to her house.
I said, don't even go near the door.
Don't go near the door. What you over there for? You know she worship Ashtaroth. You know that. Every time she see you, she talking about Hotep in the ass. However they say it. You want to, and you talking about, boy, look, I like her waist beads, bro. I think I can convert her. You dumb. When this man told you, walk on by. Why you going to the house for? Go ahead, man. Look at, man. Before the word, boy, I would talk these things, man. Man, look at, that's why I ain't never had no kids and get caught up with no scallop, man. I'm not finna be fooling with no low. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And again, right? We talking about this because this man say don't worship other gods. And I'm telling you, as a man, most men get caught up worshiping other gods because they want to please that woman. They chasing after that woman and they compromise things because they want to be with that woman. See, a godly woman will never want you to compromise your faith. She wouldn't even dream of it. You know what I'm talking about? She wouldn't even dream of it. She wouldn't even bring that your way. Matter of fact, if she saw you compromising your faith, she would be offended and be wondering about her choices in life. And if she wasn't married to you, she'd stop fooling with you. She not finna try to figure out why you compromise. She not finna talk to you about why you compromise. She don't care why you compromise. I just know I won't be with you. See, a lot of y'all boys, you be like, they say, man, you know, you ain't supposed to do that to me. She's supposed to leave. If she ain't married to you, it ain't supposed to go no further. She like, oh, no, I'm good. What am I gonna do with that? If he compromised now, he'll do it again. She already know he ain't no man. And they say, what you say? Boy, you ain't no pimp. You a rest haven for hoes. That's what you is. Go ahead, man. Hold on. So she got a question. See, I heard you mention something about waist beads and Ashtaroth. Oh, no, those two things don't correlate. That just happened to be probably a run-on sentence. She ain't got an answer to Yahuwah for the cause and his sin to compromise. Ain't nothing ungodly about wearing waist beads. That's personal preference. It just happens that women who seem to be of the Egyptian persuasion seem to propagate that the most on the internet. But waist beads are just waist beads. You know what I'm talking about? I know if you were I know if my wife wore waist beads out the house, I'd probably be like, okay, I might need to start reevaluating my choices in life. You know what I'm talking about? Because that means she would have a halter top on. And why are you going out the doors showing your skin like this and you profess godliness? These two things don't go together. You know what I'm saying? Because you're doing that to be seen. And that's okay if you want to be seen, but you can't profess godliness and do that at the same time. They very well may do, but I that's the same way when people get pressed by people doing yoga. You know what I'm saying? Yoga in and of itself is not a ungodly practice. It's when you do the things that the people in the ancient civilizations, when they did yoga, added with it. Like doing a downward dog pose, you're not worshiping another god, you're stretching. You know what I'm talking about? But when you start doing the stuff that them people add along with it, that's when you get in trouble. But you know, a lot of niggas be like, you can't do this and you can't do that. Man, you know when you worshiping another god or not. You know when you're doing it. And I guarantee you, all them white women at them yoga facilities all across this country ain't thinking about no other god. They thinking about being flexible for that man so he can bring that money in. Be 100% honest with you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, man, look at, man, it be the people who tell everybody everything is idol worship who got the most idols in their heart. And don't do none of these things that they telling other people to do, but they got a heart full of idols, man. Might as well be the temple of Dagon in that hole. Come on, man.
Saying, unless you give your honor unto others and your years unto the cruel, let strangers be filled with your wealth and your labors in the house of a stranger, and you mourn at the last.
That man say when you mourn at the last, nigga, when your flesh and body
are consumed,
man, a strange woman will destroy you, boy. Go ahead, man.
And say, how have I hated instruction and my heart despised reproof?
And you didn't want to be taught. And they tell you, your daddy told you not to fool with this woman, and you didn't listen. Come on, man.
And have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor inclined my ear to them that instructed me. I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly.
Listen what this man tell you to drink your water from.
Drink waters out of your own cistern.
And running waters out of what?
Out of your own well.
Man, get you a woman who love God like you do, boy. What's wrong with you? Oh, she said, I heard yoga wasn't of God and that we shouldn't be doing it. No, I mean, yoga is yoga, man. At that point, nigga tell you don't do Pilates then. Somebody Hebrews tell you sinning if you go to the gym and lift weights because that's the gymnasium and the Greeks did this here, man. Man, you better get yourself in shape, man. You look at, man, you don't be want to be around here looking like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick. You know what I'm talking about? I remember a dude told me, you ain't no Hebrew. You go to the gym, that's Greek. I said, I'm going to be right in there too. And you run up on me, nigga, I'm going to earth slam your maggot behind, nigga. The hell you talking about? You bad body bastard. I'm gonna tell a nigga don't be in shape. You sound stupid. You know what I'm talking about? You think exercise started with butt naked white men? Like, come on, man. Man, these niggas be crazy as all out though, man. And the first nigga tell you don't go to the gym. This nigga got a physique that you don't want. I don't want to look like you, cuz. You said they had Hebrew yoga. Oh, I ain't caught up in that, though. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, the Hinduism is when they added the extra stuff with the yoga, but the yoga in and of itself is stretching. You know what I'm saying? So if you take stretching and then you singing out to another god while you stretching, then you're gonna have a problem. But if you just stretching, then you stretching for your flexibility and your blood flow. Because at that point, they could tell you, well, chiropractors did. If you wanted to make an idol out of something, you could make an idol of anything you want to make an idol out of. But see, let's read Proverbs Ezekiel 14:4, and let's see what the real issue is. You should say at kickboxing, they use scorpion pose and down. Yeah, because it's stretching. It's just stretching. Yoga ain't nothing but stretching. Because if nobody called it yoga and you seen somebody doing it, you be like, that's a nice stretch. So I'm going to try that out. You know what I'm talking about? He said, bad body bastard is definitely shirt worthy. Not triple B's. You bad body bastard. I don't want to be that. Look at Ezekiel 14:4.
Therefore, speak unto them and say unto them, thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, every man of the house of Yasharal that set up his idols in his heart.
Set up his idols where?
In his heart.
Set them where?
In his heart. and put the stumbling block of his iniquity before his face, and come to the prophet, I, Yahuwah, will answer him that come according to the multitude of his idols.
He said the poses they get them yoga is based on the poses from the deities, from what I saw. I wouldn't doubt it. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't doubt it. I don't do yoga personally, but shoot, I don't stretch at all. But that's just me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know where that stuff come from. They think that's right. I read all that stuff when I was in prison, man. I forgot about all that stuff. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now that you mentioned it, because I remember I had a book called Egyptian Yoga. I forgot who wrote it. You know what I'm talking about? And they had a book called Christian Yoga at that, from the same author. You know what I'm talking about? And they mentioned that all that stuff for the chakras. I guess that junk ain't working because a lot of these niggas hard strike. These niggas still wicked as hell. So clearly that junk don't work. Niggas flexible though. You know what I'm talking about? Man, at this point, as tight as my hamstring, I got a what that thing called? I bought something to stretch. It just, man, shoot, by the time I come in the house, I don't be thinking about using it. But shoot, boy, tight as my hamstrings is, boy. But I just not, if I had a choice between doing yoga and Pilates or weights, I'm picking the weights. At the bare minimum, calisthenics. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. That boy said they unlocked their demonic chakras. Because I'm a weightlifter. Genesis 49:22. I've been lifting weight. I've been training for 17 years. I don't play sports. I don't need to be flexible and pliable. I'm not Tom Brady. I don't throw a football. You don't need to be what? Pliable and flexible. That's what Tom Brady was doing. The TB12 method. Come on, man. No, read me Psalms 127, man. My bad. We read this Wednesday.
Say, except you who will build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except you who will keep the city, the watchman wake in vain. Vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows. For he give his beloved sleep. Lo, children, a heritage of Yahuwah. The fruit of your womb is reward.
The fruit of the womb is your what?
Reward.
And remember, right, he said he going to bless the fruit of your body, which is the fruit of your womb. Is that correct? Okay, continue.
As arrows in the hand of a mighty man, so are the children of the youth. Happy is the man that have his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate.
Yeah, that's right. She said something to do with becoming one with their supreme deity, Brahman. Dang, you heard that women who wear hairs worship the devil? Dang, I ain't never heard that before in all my days. Yeah, you definitely got to stress. Any of y'all ever heard wearing heels is of the devil? Because the original heels men wore. You know what I'm talking about? That's what they were wearing in them Shakespearean plays. Men wore high heels in Europe, as far as I know. She said that sounds like apostolic Christianity. Please help me out because I don't know. Because I've never heard. Remember, I've never been in no church, so I'm not familiar with that type of conversation. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't never heard of high heels being the devil. You know what I'm saying? I know that the purpose of wearing high heels is to push your hips and butt out and push your breasts out. You know what I'm saying? So again, that comes down to if you a woman professing godliness, you need to take that into account when you put on certain apparel. That's about it. He said, I did a while back. They claim it was to mimic how the Baphomet. Oh, these niggas stupid. I don't think you can mimic how the Baphomet walk when men were the original wearers of high heels. Them niggas stupid. How can you mimic something that is made up? Yeah, apostolic call a lot of stuff demonic. Anime, piercing, certain patterns and clothing, hairstyles. That's interesting. It's only one piece of clothing that we don't fool with, and that's Nike. And that's just because that's literally a Greek god. And I just can't bring myself to walk around openly with a Greek god name on my clothes. You know what I'm talking about? And that's about it. I know Avizu is a Japanese god. You know what I'm talking about? I found that out. I just stopped. I just got rid of all them shorts. You know what I'm saying? She said the apostolic women wear them. Well, teach me something, baby, because I don't know. I don't know nothing about that. That's outside of the scope of my expertise. Say they crazy in apostolic. Let them tell it. Niggas sin that are opposed to be devils. Yeah, that's about the only brand we don't. And because that's literally a Greek god. Like, what's the man name who created Nike? His name escapes me. Phil Knight. He said he intentionally and purposely named his company after the Greek goddess of victory. And I can understand why. It's a sports apparel company. The first shoes were track and field shoes. So I would understand why he took that approach. Oh, I'm not telling nobody what to wear. I know we don't wear them. You know what I'm saying? Because best believe, shoot. Nigga, they coming out with them new old school Dion's and all that. Niggas will have all type of them. But it's just the fact of that's literally a Greek goddess. I let an individual make their own decision on that at this point. I'm not walking around with the name of another god on my t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? I'm not walking around with the name of and this ain't not no Illuminati stuff or none of stuff niggas like to spin with or any of that. That's a literal god. I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell nobody else what to do. I'm gonna tell you what we don't do. I ain't gonna look at you funny if you got them on. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't gonna be like, look at this wicked nigga with them Nikes on. No, I'm not gonna do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, brother Ernest. That's a little too much. You know what I mean? But if you ask the nigga to tell you, shoot, we were just talking about this the other day, boy. Jaguar coming with some throwback jerseys, man. I'm like, boy, I have to buy one of them hoes, then take him to the spot and have that nigga take the Nike swoosh off the side, man. Like stitch that off for me. You know what I'm saying? Straight up like that, because we ain't got none. Because best believe niggas will have them. Because I wear Air Maxes. Nigga, I don't wear Adidas like that. You talking about nigga, I don't wear no damn Adidas, man. I ain't never wore no damn Adidas like that. Or no Reeboks. Or no Fiats, nigga. I ain't even wear Jordans. I mean, but that was something I wore in high school. That's one time deal. But that was while I was in the Word. Before I was in the Word, I might have had one pair of shell toe. I wore ones and I wore Air Maxes. You know what I'm saying? And I had a lot of I ain't never wore no Jordans though. You know what I'm saying? I never was a Jordan dude. But I wore Air Maxes. Air Max 95s to be specific. Regularly. You know what I'm saying? No, I wore Nikes, man. I ain't wear no dog. You talking about athletic apparel? They're unmatched. But nevertheless, come on. Yeah, they're unmatched. That's not even an equation. Yeah, they're unmatched. Cause shoot, nigga, we play ball. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, I did athletic stuff. Plus, a lot of Adidas is ugly as hell. Come on, man.
The Genesis 49:22 again.
Mm-hmm.
She say Joseph.
Hold on. She said, "Do you wear the swoosh on Nike?" No, the swoosh is attached to her, but since it's all the same, because we could be like, well, we could just wear the swoosh as long as it don't say Nike. That's just towing the line. So we just don't do it at all. Like I say, I can't tell no grown person what to do. You know what I'm saying? All I know is the law say when you look at they gods, don't bring no gold and silver. They gods in your house. It's a cursed thing, like you be cursed like it. I'm not gonna bring that in my house. I don't want that in my house. Now, what you do with your house, that's between you and your house. Now, this something that's been established around these parts, shoot, for the whole 12 years, we don't win. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I can't speak for nobody else. I'm not gonna look at you crazy if you got some Nikes on. Some of y'all done pulled up with Nikes on, niggas ain't said nothing to you. You know what I'm talking about? Because that junk just don't run in my mind. Oh, this nigga got Nikes on. Let me, you know what I'm saying? Like, my mind be on a whole bunch of other things than nitpicking to a nigga about some shoes, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It just happened to come up while we had a conversation. But yeah, I ain't gonna be like, why this nigga got these Arachis on, this wicked bastard. I'm like, nah, come on, man. At the end of the day, they're just some damn shoes. You know what I'm talking about? But that's what we on. We just don't do it, and that's why. So now you know. And what they used to tell you on G.I. Joe, and no one is half the battle. Come on, man. Genesis 4:22. Genesis 49:22.
Say Joseph, a fruitful bow by a well, whose branches run over the wall.
Remember, bow is sons and branches is daughters. That's what the Hebrew words are there.
He said the archers have sorely grieved him and shot at.
Pause. He said the archers of what?
Sorely grieved him.
The archers of what?
Sorely grieved him.
Hold on, what that is? Psalm 62? Or is it Psalm 58? Tell me what Psalm 58 in 1 second. I'll check and see if 62 what I desire. Nah. Psalm 58 in 1 word.
Do you indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do you judge uprightly, O you sons of men? Yea, in heart you work wickedness.
In your heart you work what?
Wickedness.
And you weigh what?
The violence of your hands.
What do wicked do when they born?
Wicked are estranged from the womb.
They're estranged from the what?
From the womb.
They're estranged from the what?
From the womb.
Tell them what estranged is, man. That's tough. You estranged from the womb. You was a wicked bastard the day you were born.
That's Zor. To be strange, to be a stranger, to become estranged.
What does it mean? You wasn't familiar with God when you were born. Come on, man.
Say they go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies.
Telling lies.
They're poison like the poison of a serpent, like the deaf adder stop her ear.
Come on, it was Psalm 64 we want. Let's stack that on top of that because he said the archers were sore grieved. Who are these archers and what are they shooting?
Say, hear my voice, O Elohim, in my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
From the secret what?
Counsel of the wicked.
What did they have secret counsel against the Lord, right? When Caphis them sat around and said, we're going to lose our place in nation. Remember, man, everything about power. The only thing the men were concerned about was power. And the only thing they were concerned about was maintaining power in an oppressive structure, if you would. Man, I go back to the conversation we had a couple weeks ago. Man, these niggas don't care about us. Most of these niggas only care about holding their position and the little bit of power they got in this God-forsaken place. But these niggas don't care about us, man. They don't care about what you're going through. They don't care about what you deal with. They don't care about none of it. And I ain't talking about niggas who got some money. A lot of these goofy niggas in these congregations, camps, cliques, and crews, whatever the hell you want to call them, man, these niggas don't give a damn about us, man. All these niggas care about arguing they talking point, but they don't care about you, the person. You know what I'm talking about? They don't care about us. See, once I recognize a nigga don't care about us, I really don't care what you got to say. I really don't care how much you know. That junk is irrelevant to me, my nigga, because you ain't got the love of God in you. Go ahead, man. We talked about that a couple weeks. I ain't going to rehash that. I'm going to get pissed off.
Say, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
What's an insurrection, y'all? Y'all know what an insurrection is, don't you? Tell them what insurrection is in Hebrew. But in English, y'all know what an insurrection is, don't you? That's a rebellion.
That's regesh, a throng and company, a scheming, a company, a tumultuous crowd.
Remember what he said, the confederacy? They conspiring. These niggas rebelling. Man, most of these niggas rebel against God every day. Remember what we talked about last week, man? That man said they gonna kill you and think that. Let me tell you something, man, what most of these brews not telling us, man. And they know I've been telling you this for over a decade. It's not the other nations you got to worry about doing nothing to you. It's just like what Psalm 55 said, we took sweet counsel in the house of God together. If it was the enemy, I could have hid myself. Read it for him, man. Psalms 55 and 14, man, or 55 and 10. That's who you got to worry about. It's the nigga talking about shalom. That's the nigga you got to worry about. Let me tell you something, man. An outside nigga can never betray you because you'll see it coming. You'll see it coming. If you don't see an outside nigga betraying you, he can't betray you because he ain't close enough to betray you. An outsider can never betray you. They just can't do nothing but be the nigga they were born to be. Betrayal come close. That's why he say a man's foes are those of his own household. Betrayal come close, man. Come on with it. Psalm 55 and 10.
Say, day and night they go about it upon the walls thereof, mischief also and sorrow in the midst of it, wickedness in the midst thereof, deceit and guile, depart not from her streets. For it was not an enemy that reproached me.
It wasn't an enemy that dishonored me.
Then I could have borne.
He said, I could have took that.
Neither he that hated me did magnify against me. Then I would have hid myself.
I could have just slid.
But you, a man, my equal, my guide,
my friend,
my acquaintance, we took sweet counsel together, walked unto the house of Elohim in company.
That man said it was my equal that did this to me. He was the one shoot. Go back to Psalm 64, what verse you start there. He was the one shooting arrows at the perfect in secret. That's who was doing it.
Verse 3.
Psalm 64 and 3.
Say, who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their arrows, bitter words, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
They ain't even scared.
They encourage themselves in evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them?
He said they lay snares where?
Privily.
They try to hide it.
Say they search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search, both the inward of everyone and the heart deep.
That's why he told you got to guard your heart, man. That's why you got to ponder the path of your feet, man. These ain't people who. This not the nations he talking about, man. When you sit back and you pause and you look in the word, right? Let's just pause for a minute. Who betrayed Joseph?
His own brother.
His own brothers. Who got over on Jacob? His own father-in-law. Who else tried to kill Jacob?
His own brother.
His own brother. Who rose up against Moses? His own people. You know what I'm talking about? Who rose up against David?
His own son.
His own son and the king. Who locked Jeremiah up? Who were trying to kill Elijah? These wasn't no strangers, man. Man, every nigga I know who got back, the term back door coming from a nigga who close enough to open the back door to let another nigga come get you. How a stranger gonna backdoor you? The stranger coming in with nefarious means to destroy you from the get-go. You just were too naive or just too stupid to pay attention to see this nigga playing you. Or you didn't want to see it. But it's hard to see it when it's the nigga you love. Because you ain't going to want to believe they did that to you. Or they would consider it. Now listen, Amos 5 and 7, man. See, that's a hard pill to swallow that they don't want to tell us, man. They're going to be the niggas in the word going to be talking about, man, who betrayed Solomon before Delilah did it? And that was his old lady, somebody close. Who took him to the Philistines? All of Israel. They say, man, you troubling us with these people, man. Man, these niggas crazy, man. And y'all niggas get gassed up because these niggas. Man. I remember the first time I met this dude, man. He really, he had mentioned something, and I had mentioned what verse it was. He was like, this nigga serious. I said, yeah, I don't trust you. All that flattery in that nigga, that junk don't move me, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Not coming from where I'm coming from. Nigga, all that extra flattery and all that type of stuff, man, that's how you get back door. Nigga, I don't care nothing about none of that stuff. Nigga, that junk don't make me feel good on the inside. I don't need niggas New Jack swinging on my nuts and yes men and all that type of stuff. Them be the niggas set you up. Them be the niggas plotting on your downfall. Man, you can't be that simple. I ain't talking about, now we talking about dealing with the word, man. We're not talking about your everyday life, man, because ain't nobody plotting on you niggas. You know what I'm talking about? But in his word, though, man, niggas be hating, man, and you don't even really have no cachet like that. Niggas be mad because you know what you know, and they'll kill you by that. You don't even realize it because they done killed you in their heart. Niggas be wanting to be the first one to bring something out. Niggas get mad if you show them they teachings ain't right. Man, nigga want to kill you by that, man. Boy, nigga want to kill you if you tell them, boy, the way you live is sour before God. Man, niggas get mad about that type of stuff. Yeah, that stuff different, man. That's different. You bring the word into play, that junk hit different because it pierced people in the heart. It hit different. Come on, man.
You said Amos 5 and 7?
Yeah, tell me what that said.
Say, yea, you who turn judgment to wormwood and leave off righteousness in the earth, that make the 7 stars in Orion turn the shadow of death into the morning and make the day dark with night, that call for the waters of the sea and pour them out upon the face of the earth. Yahuwah his name, that strengthen the spoiled against the strong, so that the spoil shall come against the fortress. They hate them that rebuke in the gate.
They hate them that do what?
Rebuke in the gate.
They hate them that do what?
Rebuke in the gate.
Oh, Lord.
And they abhor him that speak uprightly.
That speak up what?
Uprightly.
Man, they hate when somebody speak Yashar. Tell them what uprightly is. Make sure it's Yashar.
Talmim.
Oh, that's even better. They hate when somebody speak perfectly. They hate when somebody speak wholesome words, healed words, words with integrity, words with no reproach. They hate that. See how that go back to what we were talking about your words hold more weight when you're living what you're saying. You know what I'm talking about? Because ain't nothing you could say. That's why the book say a spiritual man judgeth all things and is judged by no man. You can't judge a man who live the word. What you gonna judge him by? That's why he told you the fruits of the Ruach are what? Joy, peace, gentleness, meekness, long suffering. You know what I'm talking about? Faith, love, joy, and peace, self-control. Against such there is no law. How you gonna judge them? If this man exhibits all these characteristics, where you gonna say he wrong at? Because you talking about mishpat, that's judging between right and wrong. How you gonna say he wrong for being good, for being gentle, for being kind, for having love, for having faith, for having peace, for having self-control, for having long suffering? Where you gonna rebuke him at? You can't. Guess what he can do if he see you and he find out you in the back playing with yourself, telling lies, whoremongering around, participating in sexual degeneracy, being bitter and malicious and spiteful and wrathful. He could check you. Now you hate him because he's speaking perfectly. That's why he told you to get the beam out your eye so you could speak perfectly, so your words could be irreproachable. You know what I'm talking about? See, people jump up and say, you can't judge nobody. That's not what that man said. He said, judge not lest you be judged. But if you're a spiritual man, you can't be judged. So get yourself together. And you're not getting yourself together so you can walk around rebuking people. It's so your words hold weight. And when your words hold weight, then the Son of God is esteemed. And if the Son of God is esteemed, then his Father is esteemed. And if the Father is esteemed, that means somebody repented and the Malachim are rejoicing. Ain't that what you're supposed to be doing this for? To win a soul? So they can be blessed? Because the Son of God became blessed? So that we can be blessed through him? Ain't that what we're supposed to be doing? I told you, man, my big homie told me, man, he said, man, if you ain't trying to get no money, what you out here for? And it wasn't like I was messing around. He just pulled a nigga to the side and let it be known, man, you keep coming by these same damn 10 rocks, man. I said, man, shoot, man, I ain't want to keep buying no work from this nigga like that. He said, man, if you ain't trying to get no money, boy, what you out here for? You gonna risk your life in your freedom and you ain't gonna get paid? You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you gotta sit, man, if you ain't trying to save your soul, what you out here for? That's your money, my nigga. Then the man say you gonna get paid, you got wages, you got a recompense to get. Man, you ain't trying to get paid, my nigga. What you out here for? You just out here to be out here? You trying to impress some hoes? Nigga, what's wrong with you? You got in the word to get hoes? You a sad case. You got in the word to get validation, to get adulation and claps from the crowd? Your people didn't love you? You need a hug, my nigga? I give you a hug, bro. I ain't being funny. If you need a hug, bro, I'll give you a hug, bro. You need somebody to talk to? I'll talk to you, my nigga. Because that's not it. That's not the move, my G. Get yourself together. That's pathetic. You need a therapist. And I ain't being funny. Man, if y'all don't see a lot of these people in this world that mentally damaged, man, you ain't gonna never see it. That's not a joke. I know I might say some stuff, it sounds like I'm being funny, but I'm sick. What's a lot of mentally hurt people out here, man? Pick this book up, man. They destroying people out here. Y'all don't see that? That don't concern you? That don't make you sad? Or you just don't give a damn, huh? Ain't me. I understand. Go ahead, bro. You good, matter of fact. We good on that. Come back to Genesis 49. Matter of fact, hit John 15 and 17 on general principle. Because we just establishing how they shot, the archers shot grievously at Joseph is the same way they shot at the Lord. You know what I'm talking about? And he gonna tell you it's the same way they're gonna shoot at you. But just keep on going because you're gonna be blessed for your obedience. So don't worry about it. Come with the territory. I had mentioned it earlier this morning, right? I had told him, man, I was like, man, you know, my man Darryl, he was like, yeah, man, people be not doing stuff for fear of going to hell. I said, I'm gonna be real with you. Ain't nobody scared of going to hell. I said, because these niggas ain't scared to go to jail. You know what I'm talking about? And dude was like, that's a crazy person scared. I forgot what the nigga said. But I'm like, man, look here, bro. You can say what you want to say, but when you look at people's behavior, it shows you that they don't care. What I'm telling them is I know dudes who they're not scared to go to jail because they look at it as it's the price of doing business and what they were doing. Because I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't had no fear going to jail. I didn't want to go, like I'm not trying to go, but you talking about fear? Like, because if I feared going to prison, then I wouldn't have been selling crack. You see how that works? So I didn't have no fear. You know what I'm saying? It's just my duty to avoid it. Like I ain't get locked up and shaking them up. Ooh, they gonna rape me? None of that, man. I wasn't worried about a nigga doing nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because I'm a tough guy. I'm not finna bother nobody. I'm a man of respect. So I'm gonna give respect. And I expect it in return. If you walk around acting like you some super tough killer nigga, then yeah, you're gonna have some problems, bro. You carry yourself like a man. My OG told me, man, he said, man, shalom, Sister Kelly. He said, man, if you go to prison like a man, you'll leave like one. That's what he told me. You know what I'm saying? This nigga sat me down and gave me the game. You know what I'm talking about? Boy, you finna go up that road? I'm like, yeah. All right, check this out. And the last thing he left me with is if you go in as a man, you'll leave as one. That's what a lot of people's problem is. You're not going into places as a man. So that's why you get handled the way you get handled. You know what I'm talking about? Before I'm anything, I'm a man first. And since I'm a man, I'm going to give a man his respect until he shows he's not worthy of respect. And if he ain't worthy of respect, I'm not going to have no interactions with this man. Because if I have interactions with a man who I don't deem worthy of respect, the propensity for disrespect and violence is probably high. And why would I put myself in a position to actually interact with violence? That's detrimental to what I got going on. I got things to lose. I don't got time to play with you. When you ain't got nothing to lose, you don't care about throwing your life away. That's why people ain't scared of going to hell. They don't feel like they losing nothing. Don't feel like they losing nothing. All this debauchery going on in America, man, you think niggas scared to go to hell? These niggas killing left and right. And I ain't even talking about killing nobody because they hate their brother without a cause. They ain't got no fear. Ain't no fear of God in this place. Come on, man. And when you say fear, you know what that means, right? Ain't no reverence and respect for nothing. Nowhere. You think reverence and respect is Sabbath days and not eating pork. These niggas don't respect God. Look how they live. Look how we treat each other. How you fear God and you could treat your brother like that? How you fear God and you could treat your children like that? Your spouse like that? How could you openly and purposely disrespect your husband? Openly and purposely disrespect your wife? I'm not talking about you did something. They say I didn't like that. And you didn't, that wasn't your intent, or you didn't realize that. That's different. Nigga, you purposely being rude and disrespectful and uncool? How you fear God, nigga? That's impossible. Niggas see poor niggas on the street disrespectful. But you got the love of God and you get your monkey behind out of here, ho nigga. Man, we ain't buying what you're selling. Because your behavior show you a liar. Remember, he say they profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being disobedient in every good work, reprobate. The man told you, look at how a man live, not what he say out his mouth. You can make your mouth fry fish. Look at man, a bald-headed scallywag, stomp down, foot dragging maggot hoe, tell you she a lady. And you can't tell by the way she moved that this a maggot hoe. This man will tell you he's super high value, he got all this type of status. Nigga ain't got no car. You couldn't tell this nigga a bum? What we were talking about the other day, boy, that boy said on Baby Boy. This man got up every day from 9 to 6, acting like he was doing something productive, and he was playing Madden at Do Dirty House. Do you understand the level of bum you got to be to pretend to be doing something productive for 8 hours a day when you know you're doing nigga, you didn't come back home with no money. And ain't nobody paid attention to this. Baby, you sitting here laid up with this nigga. This nigga been gone for 40 hours for a whole week. This nigga ain't got 100 nickels to put together. This ain't clicking your mind, baby. You need to leave this nigga alone. God damn it. Come on, man. Genesis 49 and 20.
Yeah, John 15.
Oh, John 15 and 7.
Say these things I command you, that you love one another.
That you what?
That you love one another.
You do what?
Love one another.
Why?
If the world hates you, you know that it hated me before you.
Okay.
If you were of the world would love his own. But because you are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hates you.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the word that I said unto you.
What's that word, Lord?
The servant is not greater than his master. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you.
What else, Lord?
If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also.
What else?
But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me.
They don't know the Father.
If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin.
If he didn't come, rebuke, they hate him that rebuke in the gate, that speak uprightly. If he wouldn't have came speaking perfectly, they would have not had no sin. But now they have no what?
No cloak for this sin.
Now you can't cover up your sins no more. You're butt naked.
He that hate me, hate my Abba also.
Come on.
If I had not done among them the works which none other man did, they had not had sin. But now they have both seen and hated both me and my Father.
That's tough.
That the word might be fulfilled that is written in their laws.
They hated me without a
cause.
Just like they hated Joseph without a cause. Back to Genesis 49 and 20. Man, you got to understand something, man. This is why I'll be honest with you, I ain't told y'all this in a long time. This is why a lot of dudes who say they don't believe in Yahushua, Jesus, Yahweh, whatever they want to call him. That's why they don't believe in him. Because, boy, they know if they fool with him, boy, there ain't no covering for your sin, boy, you going to hell. You know what I'm talking about? You going to hell. So they don't want him to be that one, because then they can feel better about the things that they doing. See, we're not talking about no doctrine, no theological conversations, boy. We're talking about the issues of the heart. You understand what I'm telling you? We're talking about the things you hold it in your heart that manifest in your behavior. Because I'm going to tell you something, man. There is no secret of the heart that the behavior does not reveal. Your behavior will reveal when people tell me, you don't know nobody's heart. Yeah, you do, nigga. If you just shut your mouth and open your eyes, nigga. Stop talking so goddamn much and pay attention. You'll see everything you need to see in a nigga heart. But you niggas talk too much. Your eyes is shut. You ain't paying attention. That's how I know, boy, you better thank the Lord none of y'all wasn't in the street, because some of you niggas would have been dead long time ago. Because you wouldn't have peeped the play. Because you in la-la land. And like I said, you talk too much. Juvie told you this lie. He said game could be overcome if you silence your tongue. That's what Juvie told you long time ago. You can overcome game if you shut your mouth and open your ears and stop trying to be right all the time and just peep the play. You can overcome the game that they running. You niggas talk too much. When you're talking, you can't listen. These wicked niggas can't do nothing but expose their heart. It's in them to do it because they want to talk. So shut up and let them. So you can see what type of sucker nigga you dealing with and move accordingly. But see, we don't want to do that. Then we talking about, man, these preachers, man, they be getting, man, that nigga Ben showed you he was a wicked nigga. He been showed you that. You wasn't paying attention. The man told you be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, and you dumb as a dog. You know what I'm talking about? Like, man, you got to peep the game, man. These niggas sour out here, man. Don't take much. Man, let me tell you something, man. I'm telling you. I learned this a long time ago. I just didn't have the verbiage to put it together like I just said it to you now, because I stole that from somebody else. But, boy, there is no behavior of man. There's nothing, no secret of the heart of man that the behavior does not reveal. All you got to do is just pay attention. You ain't got to comment on everything you see. You ain't got to point out everything you see. All you got to do is just sit back and see. Niggas revealing their heart every day. Man, look at, man. What that boy Pimp C say, man? He say, man, we ain't got to expose these niggas. They exposing themselves every day. Niggas want to do exposés, and then I ain't got to expose this nigga. He exposing himself. It's not my fault you can't see it. Because one thing about it, man, if you caught up on cult of personality and you go to exposing somebody that niggas like, man, don't nobody want to hear. They don't want to hear that from you. It's the same way that if a nigga is wicked as hell, ain't nothing you can say against him if niggas love him. Ain't nothing you can say. Ain't nothing you can say. A nigga can have a video of TD Jakes dancing butt naked in the bathtub with a man. Ain't nobody gonna be, no, not my pastor. And I'm not saying that he died a video. I'm just using him as an example. I don't know if that man homosexual. I'm not putting that on that man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's some people that see that, they don't want to believe that. Y'all done seen all these videos niggas done made by Pastor Dow. I don't know if none of them true. Really don't give a damn. You know what I'm talking about? I didn't want that to be known for a nigga be like, he said, I don't know that. They don't give a damn about what he doing, what he talk about, or none of that. I don't follow what he do. I don't care what he do. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But what I do know is people who've been saying negative things about him and people who roll with him, they don't want to hear any of those things. And those things could be true. But they don't care. Just the same way if it's somebody who don't like Pastor Dow and they hear negative things about this man, there's nothing you can say positive about this man that they're going to receive because they already don't like him. My thing is, I can't like a nigga I don't know. I don't know that man. You know what I'm talking about? So I don't care about what he doing. Because I'm being honest with you, man. I don't know about y'all. I don't follow what. If other men preaching the word, I don't follow what they doing. You know why? Because that's what they doing. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I know what I'm supposed to be doing, so I focus on that. I don't focus on, oh, this brother doing this or this brother doing that or this brother's a false prophet. I ain't got time for that. What I look like following what other men doing, and I'm supposed to be doing my own thing. Meaning I'm supposed to be grinding. I can't put no food on my table, man, if I'm worrying about what the next man doing on his table. That's not nothing to do with it. If I see some information, I see it. But I don't know what these men preaching or teaching. It's none of my concern. Never has been either. I've never done it. I don't watch none of these dudes stuff, man. It's nothing personal. Then by the time I think about the word all the time, I kick it with people who talk about the word all the time. I'm not finna sit and watch no 3, 4, 5 hours or another. Then I drop word 8 to 10 hours a week. I'm not finna be watching none of these niggas, bro. No, I'm not finna do it. I'm not saying y'all wrong if you do it. That's your business. You know what I done told you. Listen for the voice of the shepherd and whoever you listening to. If you don't hear the voice of the shepherd, you need to cut them off. That's it. You're supposed to be listening to the voice of God, not getting caught up in the deliverer. Now, if that nigga sour and you listen to him, you're a damn fool. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm honest with you. And I call this nigga name. I don't give a damn. When I first got in the word, bro, and I seen that boy from Ricard from GOCC say, man, he was smashing niggas' wives. I said, boy, that nigga couldn't give me no word. You can't tell me you was willfully committing adultery and I'm going to believe God sent you and is with you and I'm going to listen to what you got to say. And I'm not telling you what somebody told me. I heard the nigga say it out of his mind. I'm good on that. You can't tell me you're an adulterer and then in the same breath say you got the Holy Spirit and God sent you. Because I'm going to know you're a liar. And I'm not listening to you. You can't teach me no word, bro. Because that means you sat in there amongst men who you said was your brother and you looked at their wife and you plotted on smashing them and you did it. And not only did you do it, you did it with multiple men's wives clandestinely. So you knew you was wrong and you tried to cover it up. I'm not going to listen to you, bro. Not with my life. You can take it and you can feel how you want to feel. It's nothing personal against him. I don't know him. But I know I love my life more than I love to have allegiance to a man who want to do anything he want to do. No, sir. This is my soul you talking about. I can't play with my soul like that. And I wasn't following a nigga like that. You know what I'm saying? I just knew, like, my homeboy showed me, used to watch him all the time. Like I told you, like to watch all the niggas. I wasn't really watching with what he was talking about like that. But once I seen that, I said, oh, yeah, I'm good, bro. I said, you ain't gonna never cut his videos on no more. I don't want to see that. This is like 2009. I don't want to see that, my nigga. I'm good on that. You know, fresh out of prison. I ain't no fool. Come on, bro. Because like this, I'm going to tell you something, man. If you found out, man, boy, this nigga around here smashing niggas' wives, and y'all still came around here, you ought to go to hell. So should. You shouldn't even be thinking about, oh, that's messed up what he did to it. Why are you supposed to be sitting there looking at, man, I'm not finna get no word from this nigga. This nigga been hitting niggas' old ladies. And if you still came around here talking about, it's okay, you know, ain't nobody perfect, we all human, you ought to go to hell because you stupid. Because, nigga, I wouldn't listen to me if I was smashing niggas' wives, bro. Absolutely not. Where's the integrity in that? It's not even the fact you smashing women. You knew that was another man's wife. You knew it. Come on, man. Now, when I say another man's wife, see, I ain't talking about another man's wife who don't nobody know. Mm-hmm. These are men's wives in his own congregation that he leading. You a maggot nigga. And that's all I got to say about that. You a maggot nigga. Come on, bro. Genesis 49:22. If a nigga don't like it, man, I don't really give a damn.
Say Joseph, a fruitful bow by a well, whose branches run over the wall. The archers have sorely grieved him and shot and hated him. But his bow abode in strength.
His bow abode where?
In strength.
It abode where?
In strength.
Isaiah 26 and 3. You already know what time it is.
So you will keep in perfect shalom, whose mind is stayed on you.
Because he what?
Trust in you.
Trust in who?
Yahuwah forever.
For why?
Trust in Yahuwah's everlasting strength.
Trust in Yahuwah is what?
Everlasting strength.
It's what?
Everlasting strength.
That's why he said Joseph bow about it at. Well, tell him what a bow is for 400, Alex.
Bow is kasheth, a bow for hunting. Bowman, a bow, figuratively of might, a rainbow.
A figurative of might or a rainbow. Now focus on that for a minute, because you know the rainbow is a sign of a what?
Covenant.
Of a covenant. So when you look at this here, man, his faith in God, his agreement with God, it abode in strength. Or oaths is probably what's used there. Or it could be a different word for strength. He'll tell me in a second.
Strength is a thon.
So different word for strength.
That's perpetual, constant, perennial, ever-flowing.
Ever-flowing strength. When you think about ever-flowing strength, it takes us right back to what we were discussing. What's in Galatians with the fruits of the Ruach, which is what he told you that it would flow like water or continual. You know what I'm saying? Or everlasting righteousness, as Daniel put it. This is continual strength. That's why we went to Isaiah 26. If you got trust in Yahuwah and trust in Yahuwah's everlasting strength, this is the strength that never abates. Give them Isaiah 41:10 on general principle. I think I said 41:10, but I don't think we want that. But tell me what 41:10 say anyway, just in case you don't make it home tonight.
Fear you not, for I with you. Be not dismayed, for I'm your Elohim. I will strengthen you.
He'll do what?
Strengthen you.
He'll do what?
Strengthen you.
What
Yea,
else?
I will help you. Yea, I will uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness.
I will uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness. Now I want you to go to verse 28 in the chapter preceding that, because that's what I actually want. But praise be to Yahuwah. That's what came to my mind, and it worked anyway. Because this man told you not to be dismayed, because he was strengthening you. See, Joseph wasn't dismayed at what happened to him, just like the Lord wasn't dismayed. There's a multitude of things that can happen to you in this life, man. But as long as you got the faith of Yahuwah, which is everlasting strength, you will be good. Remember what we read, what Paul said in 2 Corinthians, man? He said, my inward man is renewed day by day, even though the outward man perish. See, people thinking that's repenting every day. But it's what he finna say right here in Isaiah, man. Come on, Isaiah 40:28.
Have you not known? Have you not heard? The everlasting Elohim, Yahuwah, the creator of the ends of the earth, faint not, neither is weary. No searching of his understanding.
We don't look for it.
He gives power to the faint.
He gives power to who?
To the faint.
To the who?
To the faint.
Okay.
And to them that have no might, he increased strength.
He said to them that have no might, he do what?
Increase strength.
You see that? When you ain't got no might, remember what Paul said, I take pleasure in my infirmities, that when I'm weak, I'm strong. Because he said, my grace is sufficient for you, because my strength is made perfect in weakness. This is literally what this man is telling you right here. But see, we got to act like, man, we round here, man, because you're overcompensating for areas that you feel like you lack, or your insecurities as a man. And you don't realize that you don't have to do that with Yahuwah. If you weak, let Yahuwah give you that strength. You ain't got to walk around trying to be tough when you know you in pain. That's what he fought. When Yahushua was in that literal situation of being faint, being weak, sorrowful, even unto death, where did he go? Who did he seek after? And what did his father do? He sent him a Malachim to strengthen him. It goes back to the case, man, if two is better than one. Because if he fall, who gonna pick him up? If he cold, who gonna warm him? That's why he told you to bear the burden of your brother. That's the purpose of that. That's why he say those of us that are strong ought to support the weak. When this man was weak, he sent a, look at man, when the Lord was at his weakest, he still didn't go it alone. Because he saw his father sent him his Malachim, and then he still had his brother. They might have fell asleep, but they was there. Because those men just weren't capable. See, a lot of stuff we be looking at, why them men weren't capable of being what he needed in that moment. Because they needed strength from him. They couldn't give him something they didn't have. See, one thing as a man, you'd have to realize if you depleted of something, that be able to go to men who you know who have it. It's okay if you depleted of strength as a man. Go to your father and go to your brothers who got it so they can give you a bit of their strength. It's not that difficult. But see, because we don't do that, then you walk around and you're going to overcompensate for these insecurities and these vulnerabilities that you possess because you don't want nobody to know that you're in pain. And in turn, you're going to ruin your own life because you try to perpetuate something that you're not at that particular time in your life because you feel like you got to be tough. You got to feel like you got to show them nothing ain't going to bother me, but you hurting on the inside. My nigga, that's not going to be an effective way to live, man. And you got a wife and some kids, my G. How you going to effectively lead, guide, discipline, instruct, and love them? And you got all that going on, man. Get that together. You say you think he asked them to reveal to them their own lack of strength? I can't read that, but I can't speak for them, but I can speak for us. I would deduce that would be a wise thing for any of us to do. Like what he said in Psalms 139, search my heart and examine me. Or like we done talked about plenty of times when them people would come to the Lord and they say, Lord, strengthen my faith. It's okay to say, man, my faith's small, man. Help me increase it. That take more courage and strength to do that than to try to cover it up and act like you got it when you don't. You know what I'm saying? And I think maybe it's because we live in this social media age that everybody feel like they need to put on a particular image of who they think people think they are or who they want people to see they are versus just being yourself and keeping it real with yourself. You can't keep it real with nobody till you keep it real with yourself. You got to keep it real with yourself. If you're weak, my nigga, you weak. It's okay. See, the thing is if you live in weakness every day of your life, versus having a situation of weakness that is going on at a particular time. It's okay. You flesh and blood, my G. You're human. It happens. If the Lord can be weak and express that he was weak, then who are we to say we can't? You know what I'm talking about? And we done talked about that plenty of time before. The Lord didn't even try to go it alone. So why are you? You greater than him? Because he didn't do that. He called somebody. He called his three closest homeboys and say, come up here and pray with me, man. Even though they fell asleep, that's not the point. Now look at what he showed them for them to go do. When you weak like this, what you supposed to go do? He set the example on what to do. And he prayed to his father in that moment. He set the example what you're supposed to do. See, we don't pay attention to that. You just reading it. When he's showing you, this man said, I am exceedingly sorrowful, even unto death. Come over here yonder and pray with me. This is what the man did. You stronger than him? I don't think you are. Because I know I'm not. You know what I'm talking about? So if I know he did it, I know if I'm that weak, I could do it too. I know it's our inclination to say, let me go it alone. And some of y'all might be strong enough to navigate certain things on your own. But some of us lie to ourselves and tell ourselves we that strong when you know that you're not. Because I'm not saying some of y'all might not be that strong. Because some men are stronger than others and they can navigate a lot more difficult and adverse situations than other men can. And that's why he say those that are strong must support the weak. And usually men, at least men in this world who are that strong, their faith is a little stronger than others. And just because your faith's stronger than somebody else's doesn't mean that you wicked or you this, that, there, and the third. One of the things you have to stop doing, man, they tell you that comparison is the thief of joy. Stop comparing yourself to other people and compare yourself to the Lord and him alone. You don't need to compare yourself to this brother over here or this sister over here. What you doing that for? They're not your measuring stick. When you stand before the throne of judgment, he ain't going to be measuring against you, against this man or this woman. He going to be measuring you against himself. So that's who you need to measure yourself against, because that's the only measurement that matters. You understand? Come on with it. Where you at with it?
Isaiah 40
and 28.
Have you not known? Have you not heard? The everlasting Elohim, Yahuwah, the creator of the ends of the earth, faint not, neither is weary, no searching of his understanding. Mm-hmm. He give power to the faint, to them that have no might, he increase strength.
That's right.
Even the youth shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. But they that wait upon Yahuwah.
They that what?
wait upon Yahuwah.
That do what?
That wait upon Yahuwah.
Shall renew their what?
Their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint.
All you got to do is wait on Yahuwah. But that's what a lot of things that we don't do. You don't wait on Yahuwah. See, you make the mistake that Saul made when he was supposed to wait on Samuel. And that got Saul in trouble. Sometimes you got to wait on Yahuwah, man. It don't matter what other people doing. Just wait on Yahuwah. Especially when you're weak, just wait on Yahuwah. That's all you got to do. Come on back to Genesis 49, man. 49 and 24. But see, like I said, man, living in this time period that we live in, man, what we talking about right now, niggas say, you sound like a Christian and all this other stuff. Man, them niggas stupid. Them niggas stupid. Anybody telling you not to trust in God or wait on God because that sound Christian like is a jackass, an idiot, a mongrel, an infidel, an imbecile, an ingrate, a person devoid of any conscionable thought whose words should be disregarded at every cut, corner, and turn. Like no joke, dead serious. That's foolish. Let me ask you this question, man. Because Isaiah 28 say this. Who you know been ashamed who waited on Yahuwah? Who you know what I'm talking about? Who trusted in Yahuwah and something negative went with them? Give me Job 17 and 5 real quick. Who you know who that happened to? Do you believe when he said, I ain't never seen the righteous forsaken or begging for bread? Do you believe when that man say his ears are open unto the cries of the righteous? Do you believe that? Do you believe that he showed mercy to thousands of them that love him? Like, come on, man. You think that's words on the page? Or you don't understand this man revealing his character to you and what type of time he on? What type of God you think you serve, man? What type of man you take him for? Go ahead, man.
He that speak flattery to friends, even the eyes of his children shall fail.
Oh, that's tough.
He hath made me also a byword of the people, and aforetime I was as a tabré. My eye also is dimmed by reason of sorrow, all my members as a shadow. Upright shall be astonied at this, and the innocent shall stir up himself against the hypocrite.
Listen, verse 8.
The righteous shall also hold on his way.
The righteous hold on his what?
On his way.
Hold on his what?
On his way.
What happened with their hands?
And he that have clean hands shall be stronger and stronger.
All you got to do is clean your hands, man. Your faith will get stronger and stronger. That's all you got to do. This thing ain't difficult, man. Man, I'm telling you, man, the way of Yahuwah is simple. That's why Paul told the people in Corinth, man, hey, man, don't let nobody corrupt you from the simplicity that's in the Mashiach. Man, this thing's simple, man. You got to understand something. This thing's supposed to be simple enough for you to explain this to a child. It's man that make the word complex. The word is not complex. It's pretty straightforward and direct. It's real simple to execute. But the execution is contingent on your level of faith. The greater the faith, the easier the execution. The lesser the faith, the more difficult the execution. And when I'm talking about the execution is beyond the simple stuff that we like to talk about, which is feast, Sabbath, and doggone not eating pork and shrimp. We're talking about the encapsulation of his character. We're talking about the activation of faith and the power that come with it. We're talking about trusting in every word and every line, knowing that he's a rewarder of those who diligently seek him and willing to suffer and to endure whatever in order to receive what he has promised, knowing that he speaks those things that are not as if they are. You know what I'm talking about? And that we know that it is two things that's impossible, and one of them is for this man to lie, because Elohim is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of a man that he should repent. If he said it, shall he not do it? Because the strength of Yasharal do not lie. That's what the man told you. Now, whether you believe that or not, it's between you, him, because I ain't got nothing to do with that. But I'm fully persuaded, because I know my Redeemer live, and he gonna stand on the earth in the latter day. I know that unequivocally and without question. A nigga can't tell me nothing. You know what I'm talking about? I don't give a damn what you talking about. Because you know something, man? A lot of time, man, we be talking about these dudes and they got a problem with the word, my nigga. And you press these niggas on, well, what you got going on? Nigga, they ain't got nothing because your God ain't did nothing for you. You know what I'm talking about? Because see, while we was yet without strength, for Mashiach died for us while we were ungodly. See, this is the difference what these sucker niggas be around here talking about all the time, man. Nigga, your God ain't come down here to make you like him. You nigga got to do a whole bunch of extra stuff, my nigga. That junk ain't getting you nigga nowhere. Cause I'm gonna tell you, niggas hate Yahuwah because he got restrictions on your behavior. That's what these sucker niggas don't like. Yahuwah got consequences for your behavior. That's what these sucker niggas don't like. And any man who got a problem with consequences for degenerate behavior, you better watch him. You better watch him. Any man that feel like, why should I be held accountable for my deplorable actions? He find a problem with him. That's a defect in his character. And you could take that and take it to whoever you want to take it to, because I'll tell any nigga that on the earth. I'd have told a nigga that before I got in the word. How you got a problem with the consequences of your actions, my nigga? How you blaming somebody for what you did? That's a defect in your character. And if you can't see that, well, your people raised you wrong. That's all I can tell you. Your people failed you. Because guess what? I guarantee you won't none of you niggas be around here running no dope, because you know why? It's consequences for you going to jail. And you don't want to go to jail. That's why I hate these niggas. Because they feel Mr. Charlie more than they feel Yahuwah. You don't see none of these niggas running around talking about why the white man locked these niggas up for killing. For selling drugs, for robbing. You don't never hear them say that. But, oh, God should give you a pass for being a whoremonger. Why God want to kill a nigga for worshiping idols and murdering people? Why God ain't stopped them people from murdering? Why the nigga killing? Why you blaming him for him killing? So that's his fault, because this nigga's a killer. Let me move on before I get upset. Come on, man. Genesis 40, because we done already had these tangents. Genesis 49:24. That junk make me mad. Because it don't make sense. And like I said, man, I was never in the word. I ain't never had these thoughts. You know what I'm talking about? Come on, because I need to do the fruit. We don't need to bring the fruit of the body into the mark. Come on.
Say, but his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty of Jacob. From thence the shepherd, the stone of Yasharal.
He said after this, he became the shepherd, the stone of Yasharal. That's what happened after he strengthened him. You know what I'm talking about? Now, you know he told you he the chief shepherd in John 10, right? We just gonna read him getting strengthened. You know what I'm talking about? Just on general principle. Come over here to Luke 23, because that's where I'm at with it. We could have went to Matthew. I chose not to go. Ball Mall. What they do on the Ball Mall? Oh, that little Joanne. Oh, it might be Luke 22. It's Luke 22. 22 and 39. Is it 39? Yep. Luke 22 and 39 is sufficient.
And he came out and went, as he was wont, to the Mount of Olives, and his disciples also followed him. Mm-hmm. When he was at the place, he said unto them, pray that you enter not into temptation. He was withdrawn from them about a stone's cast and kneeled down and prayed, saying, what did he say? Abba, if you will be willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but
y'all remember what passage testified of him saying this? I'm just trying to be brief. I'm only mentioning this because we were reading the book of Obadiah for somebody the other day. And of course, you know, what's written in the book of Obadiah is pretty much said in this same chapter, the same book that I'm referencing. Y'all recall? If you don't recall, it's all good. I'm going to swing around there for you while you think on it. It's been a long time since we talked about it. It's only because we were just in that book of Obadiah and it's in my mind. I'm going to read this for you right here, man. 49 and 12 of the book of Jeremiah. And if you was wondering what verses I was referring to, that's in Obadiah. That's in the book of Jeremiah. Also is Jeremiah 49 and 7 to about 11. Say the same thing pretty much word for word. You know what I'm saying? With a few other things slid in there, which is about the same, because it's about even. Nevertheless, 49 and 12. For thus saith Yahuwah, behold, those who judgment to not drink of the cup have assuredly drunken. And you, he shall altogether go unpunished. Shall you not go unpunished, but you shall surely drink of it. Now, if you remember the book of Isaiah, he tell you he gave you the cup of trembling, did he not? You wondering why this man asked for this cup to pass. You thought he just was asking for this cup to pass arbitrarily, just for kicks. You know what I'm talking about? For giggles and whatnot. Because it was testified of for this cup to pass. See, we were talking to this lady, man. She always be talking trash about the Lord. Now that it's in my mind that I say this here. I want you to come over here to the book of Mark. And I want to see if y'all remember this here. Because, see, this bald-headed heifer tried to say that the Lord was a homosexual. Now, I explained this to this bald-headed hoe. And you know what I'm saying? And I say bald-headed hoe disrespectfully as possible. that I didn't appreciate what she was saying, because you know that you're making this up, because this was not what was going on here, and you steady propagating this. You know what I'm talking about? See, I don't like when people do that, because it's rudely disrespectful. You know what you're doing. And then you really just accustomed to people who don't really know the testimony like this here. This is why you throwing this stuff out here like that. You know what I'm talking about? Then when somebody say something to you, you want to try to run and play stupid. You heard what I said, ho. Come on, the book of Mark, man. Look at that, what I want. Mark 14. You could pick it up at verse 46. I'm going to see if y'all remember. It's been a long, long time since we talked about this. I mean a long time. I ain't being funny. So if don't nobody pick up on where that's at, that's cool. That ain't no big deal. You know what I'm saying? But praise be to Yahuwah. You know, you can make it 43. We got Mark 14 and 43. We got to stir up your minds by way of your pure minds by way of remembrance on certain things. You know what I'm saying? But Mark 14 and 43, let it run.
And immediately while he yet spake, came Judas, one of the 12, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves from the chief priests and the scribes and the elders. He that betrayed him had given them a token, saying, whomsoever I shall kiss, that same is he. Take him and lead him away safely.
Come on.
And as soon as he was come, he goes straightway to him and said, Master, Master, and kissed him. And they laid their hands on him and took him. And one of them that stood by drew a sword and smote a servant of the high priest and cut off his ear. Yahushua answered and said unto them, are you come out as against a thief with swords and with staffs to take me?
I was daily with you where?
In the temple teaching.
So you what?
You took me not.
But the scriptures must be what?
Fulfilled.
The scriptures must be what?
Fulfilled.
They got to be what?
Fulfilled.
Keep that in your brain. Come on.
And they all forsook him and fled.
Pause. Now, y'all know whether it's the book of Job, whether it's in Psalms, whether it's in Zechariah, you already know it was written for the apostles to flee. You already know it was written for Peter to deny him. Remember, he said, my friend, my voice has become strange unto him. You know what I'm saying? See, all this stuff written. See, people be talking about, Peter denied. That's why the Lord was checking Peter like that, because the Lord already knew this. Peter didn't, though. Peter didn't know. We didn't talk about it before. Man, if them boys would have stayed there with that man, they all would have died. So that means either the Father was going to have to resurrect 12 men, or he was going to have to resurrect his son and he was going to have to start it all over again. And the word would have failed. You can go read Job 19 right now, and you can see where it stated that the apostles would flee and Peter would deny him. You ain't got to read smite the shepherd and the sheep was scattered. If that's the only place you can see where the apostles was going to flee from, you ain't skilled enough in the testimony, man. You need to try again. I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm saying that is niggas who don't believe in the Lord, they already know them spots. You can't go to the spots these whole niggas know. You got to stake them to somewhere that they ain't prepared for and stop them and pin them, so that when they get it, that it could be just like what he said in Isaiah. There'd be a snare, a gin, a snare, and a trap. You understand? It'd be just like what he told you in Isaiah 28, that it's going to catch them and make them fall backwards, so it can be a trap for them. See, you ain't trapping them for your own pleasure. You trapping them so that the will of the Father can be done, so these wicked, unbelieving people can go to hell for calling him a liar. It's bigger than proving somebody wrong. They saying the Father a liar. That what he testified of his son wasn't true. You already know, I don't play them type of games no more, because at the stage that I'm at, I'm old, I'm tired, and I've been uncussed one of these niggas out. You know what I'm talking about? I've been uncussed one of these, and I know I've been uncussed one of these niggas out. With using no profanity at that, outside of calling them a pussy, and an idiot, and a jackass. You know what I'm talking about? And I don't want to do that, because I want to maintain professionalism. So I just don't engage. Because I know they can't answer what I got to say. And I know they can't deal with what I got to say. And I know they're not going to believe what I got to say. So why would I give my pearls to a man of an imputed heart and an impure mind? Why would I do that? That doesn't make sense. So that's why I stay quiet. Come on, sir. Verse 51, Mark 14.
Saying there followed him a certain young man having.
See, this right here, she tried to say he was a pedophile because it said young man. You know what I'm saying? This is what she tried to say. Now, this was a couple weeks ago. Might have been almost a month ago, because we were cleaning at what you call that place? We was at the Bank of America Tower. We was at Merrill Lynch cleaning when we had this conversation now. And I kept telling her, stop doing that now because you're being dishonest. You're being dishonest. Number one, the man wasn't with the Lord. The man was watching what was going on and followed behind him. She tried to make it seem like he was with him. Now, when you look at young man, that Greek word for young, a youth or a young attendant or servant, then it say somebody under 40. So understand this here. That means they considered at that particular time that if you were under 40, that you would be considered a young man. So this man could have been in his 30s. This man could have been 37. And he would have been considered a young man in that cultural context at that time. They seen young man and want to make it seem like it's a 12, 13-year-old boy because that's what you want, hope. You don't read that nowhere where the book say give a woman away at 16. You don't read that nowhere. You don't read no, like people say it's an age of accountability. I heard that my whole life. That ain't nowhere in the book. Ain't no age of accountability. Just when we talking about, man, he sent them young men out there to get ate up by bears, and you realize them young men weren't little kids. Those were young men. These were men in their 20s. These were grown men running their mouth. You want to believe it? You really think Yahuwah would send bears on 7, 8-year-old boys? That's a nigga who don't know God. That's why he'll say something like that. That's why he'll say something like that. Because you seen young and you automatically went to children. They were grown men. Why would a 7-year-old boy look at Alicia and say, go up, old bald head? That sounds like something a 7-year-old child would do because you used to nigga churn.
Well, say this is something they would.
Come on, man. Read verse 52 again.
He's saying he left the linen cloth and fled from them naked. And they said, and they led Yahushua away to the high priest, and with him were assembled all the chief priests.
No. I said 51. I said 52. I meant 51. Read verse 51 again. It's
saying there followed him a certain young man having a linen cloth cast about his naked body, and the young man laid hold on him. And he left the linen cloth and fled from them naked.
Pause. Y'all know where that come from? Because it's written. Do y'all know why that's in there? Do you think that's just a random thing that they just wanted to put in there that there was a butt naked young man running away? Who remembers what? You ain't got to tell me the place and location. Just tell me who remembered the prophet that told you that this would happen. What prophet told you that this was going to happen? Because he told you. Can anybody tell me what prophet told you this was going to happen? I give you a couple minutes because I know I was late. I'm old. I be moving slow. I be having to eat because I don't eat during the day. I definitely, what did I eat today before I ate that wrap? Nothing. No, I'll take that back. I knew Stanley remember. I ate a can of Pringles and 2 protein shakes. And some Reese's peanut butter cup when I got the protein shake. Because I hadn't ate nothing, boy. Boy, my feet were hurting too. I ain't wearing no slides today.
I saw you washing sneakers.
Yeah, because that house was, man, I already been in the house, man. I wanted to make sure I had some grip. What I'm talking about, boy, that house was full of boo-boo.
Oh, the boo-boo house.
Yeah. Absolutely. I needed grip in that one. Come on, man. Come over here to Amos 2 and 6. When I tell you they had boo-boo on the floor in every room in that house, man. Man, I don't know if them were fleas or gnats in that house, man. Might have been both. Them niggas were living foul. And that man said there were 15 people living in that house. With kids.
This was a rental?
Yeah, junk was out east. You know what I'm talking about? With at least, well, it was at least 6, 7 dog cages. You know what I'm talking about? It was 3, 4 dog cages on the front porch. And about 3, 4 more in the living room. And all of them had excrement in them. I said, boy, this ain't right before God. Boy. That was about bad as the house we did on Paris Avenue, man. Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? Nigga definitely tried to shortchange me, talking about, you can clean it for me. I said, man, house like this here, man, It's 200 flat before you even talk about. You talk about, can you get the baseboards in the wall? I say, hell no, not for what you want. You get the basic clean for this here, buddy. I'm gonna mop the floor. And that's it. That's all you get. You know what I'm saying? Because you talking about, they don't need to be spotless. I need to show it. Okay, I get the boo-boo off the floor. I got you. You know what I'm saying? It's not like clumps of excrement, but you could tell like these niggas been, the animals done dropped and they ain't cleaned it up, and it's just in the floor. You know what I'm saying? Nah, boy. Well, we did a house on Paris Avenue for the same dude. Matter of fact, he got mad because I taxed him on that, man. You know what I'm saying? I taxed him decent. I'm like, bro. I said, bro, it was dirty diapers all up under the bed, my nigga. The people was in here, and they were living in there. You seen the house in Fernandina, them people were living in there. Boy, if I took pictures of that house in Fernandina and showed y'all this here, we people were living in there. They were living in this. Y'all be seeing these hoarder houses, y'all be thinking, nah, man, don't nobody, these people be living in these houses, man. I'm talking about this junk here past squalor. This is abject filth. You understand? This junk would be like, hey, man, it's not fit for a human to dwell in here. You know what I'm saying? You came over there with us for that house for Gonzo there on Mall Beach Boulevard. Man, Gonzo said, man, he had to throw away his clothes every time he went to that house. He said he had to bring a pair of throwaway clothes because the man wanted him to sit in that house. That house was disgustingly filthy. These people be living in there, man. I'm telling you. You people be living in there, man. And they be having kids in these houses, man. And it's one thing as an adult if you want to live like that, but damn, Jit ain't had no choice in the matter. Well, that house of Callahan, boy. Boy, I might have to reshare the reel for some of y'all just so y'all can see that there, boy. Well, them people had trash all the way to the ceiling. You understand me? Well, these people had menstrual pads in the bathtub. You know what I'm talking about? Dog excrement in the living room. These people put so much food on the floor in the house, the niggas went to living outside. Yeah, you remember that real? Well, them niggas went to living outside. I told you, man, we were riding by there, man. We cleaning out the trailer behind it. I said, boy, me and Jimmy like, boy, them crackers back there living foul. Man, when Ben hit me up, I said, boy, I know that address, boy. I said, boy, that's the house in front of that guy. I said, man, God damn it. I said, boy, I ain't even gonna clean that house. I'm talking about, and boy, I made a lot of money off the cleaning that house, boy, and I ain't even know if I wanted to make it. That's how bad it was. And then this nigga Kenny got the nerve to talk about he want to take the doggone fan from me. I said, boy, you ain't put nothing in that house in my car. Not nothing. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, not nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we in the rap. No, absolutely not. Nigga, have you seen this home? I shouldn't even have told this nigga you ain't want that. Matter of fact, what I told him. I said, I can't tell you what you could take to your house, but I can tell you ain't putting it in my car. I said, my baby got to get in this car. Nigga, you crazy. Come on, man. Amos 2:6.
Say, thus saith Yahuwah, for 3 transgressions of Yasharal, and for 4 I will not turn away.
Hold on. Said seen Fernandina. Said, boy, they were living in that house, boy. And I told you they were living in that house. Said seen Fernandina. Boy, they were living in that house. And you know what they ended up doing? Tearing the whole damn trailer down and bringing a new one. That's what they should have done. I already know, man, you wasn't finna be able to rehab that.
You ain't got no choice but to tear that down.
They ain't even need to bring us out there because you should have tore that hole down from the jump street.
I ain't want to go back to that house.
You trying to rehab it. He wondered why we ain't finished because ain't nobody want to go in that hole. Boy, I went in that house, man. The first day I went in that house, but the next day I had a fever. I woke up with the chills, my whole body aching. I ain't even had no cold.
Yeah. When I see the rats step out the dresser, boy, I ain't want to go back. I ain't seen a rat in a long time.
Well, they had rats in that. Man, that house was disgusting, bro. Dog. I'm finna continue, though. Y'all got to understand something, man. The damn couch was so bad, it was disintegrating on its own, and these niggas was sitting on it. Man, God damn it. Come on, bro. Amos 2:6.
Thus saith Yahuwah, for 3 transgressions of Yasharol, and for 4 I will not turn away thereof.
Because they did what?
Sold the righteous for silver.
What they sold the Lord for?
And the poor for a pair of shoes.
Boy, they sold the righteous for silver and the poor for a pair of shoes. That's right. That boy said the floor was so dirty, there was no flow. It was just matted with filth. No cap.
Yeah, it was. It was hard to get that thing.
Nigga, we had to move trash with a rake. Not a fan rake, a garden rake. Well, these niggas had trash this high up off the ground, man.
They said it was so stuck that it was ripping the carpet up with it.
Man, the carpet was done. Man, that house was so goddamn stank, man. That junk ain't make no sense.
Yeah, the carpet was stuck to the trash.
He said, the next said, I don't know how you endure that. I got mouths to feed. You know what I'm saying? Joanne need a new pair of shoes. Go ahead.
Say that pant after the dust of the earth on the head of the poor and turn aside the way of the meek.
And a man and his father
will go in the same maid to profane my Kadash name.
See these niggas out here talking about running trains, thinking you doing some fly stuff. You a nasty nigga. Come on, man.
And they lay down upon clothes laid to pledge by every altar. They drink the wine of the condemned, the house of their Elohim.
Yet I destroyed
the Amorite before them, whose height like the height of the cedar.
He was strong as the oaks.
Yet I destroyed his fruit from above.
And removed his what?
Roots from beneath.
I also brought you up out of the land of Mizraim.
And led you 40 years through the wilderness to possess the land of the Amorite.
And I raised up your sons for what?
Prophets.
And your young men
for Nazarites.
Not even thus.
Oh, you children of Yasharal.
Say of who?
Yahuwah.
But you gave the Nazarites what?
Wine to drink.
What they tried to get the Lord when he was on that tree? Come on with it.
And commanded the prophet, saying, prophesy not.
Behold, I'm pressed unto you.
As a cart is pressed full of sheaves. Therefore the flight shall perish from the swift.
The strong shall not what?
Strengthen his force.
Neither shall the mighty
deliver himself.
He said, if you be the son of God, deliver yourself. Ain't that what he told him? Come on. Neither shall he what?
Stand that handle the bow.
He that is what?
Swift of foot shall not deliver. Neither shall he that ride the horse deliver himself.
And he that is courageous?
Among the mighty shall flee away naked in that day.
He'll flee away what?
Naked in that day.
In that day.
Saith you.
And what that young man did in that day, he fled away what? Butt book and naked. You just thought that was in there just to be in there. And I told this woman this. Oh, no. See, some people like, that ain't. See, this is what I told her. I was having a conversation with somebody about this. And I would tell them, I say, man, the Lord in the whole book. He ain't in the book. It don't say Yahushua Jesus next time. See, I stopped talking after that. Because I say, what you looking for is, you looking for his name. That tell me that you're spiritually simple. What do I mean by being spiritually simple? Meaning you're not looking for the work. So you're not looking for an individual exemplifying the work and then see him doing the same work to know that was bearing witness of him. See, I know that's a person who listened to words and not watch deeds. That's how you keep getting deceived. See, I can't speak for people who got deceived in the church because I wasn't ever in the church. And one of the reasons I ain't go to church is because I knew them people wasn't living what they were talking, because I knew I wasn't finna live it, so why was I going? That's what I knew when I became of age. I sell crack. What I'm going to church for? Because when I leave this church, I'm going to catch a serve. Because if a nigga called me for the right amount of money while I'm there, I'm going to go catch it. I'm not saying that for shock effect. I'm just telling you what my mind frame was in 2000, in 2001, in 2002, in 2003, in 2004 before I went to prison. That's what my mind was at. If I'd have been sitting in that church house, man, and a nigga hit my phone talking about, boy, I got about 200-300, I'm gone. I don't care what the preacher talking about. I'm going to get this money, man. Straight like that. That's what my mind was at the time. So why would I even go on a spot that I know that this is where my mind at? Why would I even do that? I'm going to tell you something real. When I stopped selling dope in 2003, because I said I was going to get my real estate license, boy, I wasn't selling no crack. I went full force for like 3-4 months straight. Didn't go home or nothing. Same clothes, 7 days straight. All like that to stack bread, because I knew what I was finna do. I knew if I was finna go try to get my real estate license, man, I can't sell crack and do this at the same time. So that means I either got to be all in with this or stay selling dope. I knew it couldn't be no halfway. This is just how I'm 23 years old at the time. This is how my mind worked. So I stopped selling dope now. I ain't start selling dope again till I ain't find no job in the interim of doing that there, and my money ran out. And I'm like, well, I can't be sitting around this whole broke. You know what I'm saying? That was a process of time of about a good 8-9 months. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't start selling dope again until sometime in the middle of 2004. Maybe about April, May 2004. You know what I'm talking about? I was dead serious about that. So that's why when I got into work, when I got out of prison, man, I'm not finna be around here living contrary to what it is that I don't, my mind don't work like that. That's just me personally. My mind ain't never worked like that. If I'm gonna do it, then I'm gonna do it. If this is what I'm into, this is what I'm into. If I try it and I say this ain't work out for me, then I'm gonna stop doing it. But I'm not finna tell you that I'm something that I'm not. My mind don't work like that. That's not any righteousness of me. My mind just don't work like that. When I was in the street, I ain't walk around like I was no killer. I ain't no killer. I'm a dope boy. I smoke weed. I stay fresh and smell great. Phenomenal, if you will. You know what I'm talking about? This is me. This is what I do. This is who I am. That's why I say you got to be real with yourself. You got to know yourself. You say the spirit wasn't there from your experience. I can understand. I'm not mad at nobody who went to church because you probably needed to go to church to get to where you are right now. That's the path that you needed to go down. That's not the path that I needed to go down. Obviously, you who knew what path that everybody needed to go down to get you to the point where you are right now. You know what I'm saying? That's all. You don't need to look at everything as a negative. You need to look at the experiences you had to cultivate you to be able to develop wisdom and understanding to be able to profit you in this moment right now. And stop looking at everything from a victim point of view. You know what I'm saying? It was needful. It was necessary. Take the positives from the situation and cast away the negatives. You don't need to dwell on the negatives. You need to see how the negatives can become a positive by learning from them. So you don't make those mistakes again. It's not like, come on, man. That's why I be wondering who raised some of us, man, because our mindsets are terrible. When I say terrible, it doesn't lead to the process of growth that everybody needs to be successful in whatever it is that they choose to put their hand to. I wasn't raised to be a victim, so I don't have that frame of mind. I remember nigga used to call me, man, the white man. I say, bro, ain't no white. I felt like Dame Dash on A Reasonable Doubt, man. Ain't no nigga stopping me from getting no money. You know what I'm saying? No white man stopping me from getting no money. I ain't never seen no white man pop up out the blue. You can't get no money, nigga. That's never happened to me. The only thing stopping you from getting what you want is you. The devil's not stopping you. You stopping you. There's no demons or unclean spirits hanging out stopping you from, you know what I'm saying? That's why I shared that with Tom Brady. Said, man, F your tired body. You know what I'm talking about? Bump all that junk, man. Don't talk about what you ain't got, what you gonna do to change it. Let me tell you something, man. When I got up to 270, I say, man, yeah, I got stronger, but I ain't cut. That's why I told you I bought basketball jerseys for the specific purpose that every day I was gonna have to look at my arms and see they weren't cut. What's the sense of talking about, man, I ain't cut no more? What you gonna do about it? I'm gonna get in the calorie deficit, and I'm gonna continue to do basic compound movements at a heavy duration. And I'm gonna keep going day in and day out until I get lean as I want. I don't give a damn how long it takes. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been cut before, but I'm like, no, you done got too big. You fat now. Now you got to do something about it. Ain't no sense of crying about it. We here now. What you gonna do about it? I know what I'm gonna do about it. I'm gonna put the work in. So when the word came, I knew I was going to hell. I ain't finna cry about what I didn't know, what ain't nobody tell me, what ain't nobody show me. I know what he teaching me right now. What I'm gonna do about it? I'm gonna save my soul. I'm gonna believe the word and I'm gonna obey it. I'm gonna live by my faith. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not finna cry about it. What you gonna do about it? You don't like your life? Well, what you gonna do about it? You don't like the state of your soul? What you gonna do about it? Don't nobody want to hear that, my nigga. Unless you talking about, hey, man, I got this going on. Can you help me? You got some advice? You got an action plan for me? You know somebody who can help me? Because if you just want to cry, nigga, man, go find a doggone Catholic priest and go cry to him. Because I don't want to hear that junk, nigga. Not if you ain't finna do nothing about it. I'm setting you up for what your forefathers were doing in the wilderness. This ain't somebody finally admitted out. I mean, nigga, I would do it. They had that power building body. That's just how I looked at myself. I wasn't cut. That nigga said, I know the Lord. I wasn't cut. Nigga was muscular, you know how to say it, but I wasn't cut. Old head told me the other day, he said, well, you lost a lot of weight. I say, crazy part is, I ain't lost no weight. So, man, I'm still 245. I ain't lost no weight. Not none at all. You know what I'm saying? Lost a lot of fat, though. Come on with it. Where you at with it?
Good with Amos, too.
Yeah, we need to go back to Genesis 49. Yeah, see, I had got on that kick, man, doing that powerlifting, man, doing them cumulative days of 1,000 pounds. Well, you got to eat a lot of food and get to do that on a regular basis. And for those of y'all that don't know what that is, that's doing 1,000 pounds of doing bench press, deadlifts, and squats on the same day. You know what I'm saying? Because you know pt4 is my favorite workout program of all time. But that's why my back bad right now. But I had got on the tick like 1,000 at least two times a week. Then I told you too, that Ubering got me off track too, man. That jumped through. I wasn't getting proper sleep. That jumped through my sleep pattern. At this age, that ain't good for keeping body fat up off you. I gotta go to bed. Go ahead, man. We in 49 and 24.
Mm-hmm. Say, but his bow in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty of Jacob. From thence the shepherd, the stone of Yasharal,
By the Elohim
of your father,
who shall what?
Help you.
By the Almighty,
who shall baruch you with blessings of Shamahim
and the
above,
blessings of the deep
that lie under,
and the blessings of the breast
and of the womb.
Listen, that's that womb we want to talk about. You know the blessings of the deep. That's the grave. You know the blessings from above. That's the Ruach HaKodesh. Give you the Ruach. Give him John 5:25 on the high. Yeah, I told you that other day. Oh, dude say, yeah, man, you lost a whole lot of weight. I say, yeah. I ain't lost no weight. I ain't tell him that because he wasn't understand. He was just being cordial and giving a compliment. There wasn't no need to
say, truly, I say unto you.
What? What'd he say?
The hour is coming, and now is.
That what?
Dead shall hear the voice of the Son of Elohim.
And the dead.
And they that hear shall live.
Shall what?
Shall live.
That what?
Shall live.
See, there go your blessings of the deep, because they tell you that deep in that particular, the deep that lie under is the grave or the abyss. Same word that's used in Genesis, man. Go ahead.
Say, for as the Abba have life in himself, so have he given to the Son to have life in himself.
Mm-hmm.
Have given him authority to execute judgment also, because he is the Son of Man. Marvel not at this, for the hour is coming in the which all that are in the grave shall hear his voice.
And they that what?
They shall come forth, they that have done good, unto the resurrection of life.
And they that have done what?
Evil, unto the resurrection of damnation.
John 11:25 on general principle.
Yahushua said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life.
I am the what?
Resurrection and the life.
And the what?
And the life.
He that what?
Believe in me, though he were
what?
dead, yet shall he live.
Yet shall he what?
Yet shall he live.
You believe that?
Whosoever believes in
me.
me.
Good. That man say you believe that? See, that's the blessings of the deep that's under. You understand? Remember, he said, I brought you up out of the pit where there was no water. Ain't no living water in the grave. Ain't no life in the grave. So again, we talking about Deuteronomy 28:1. He said, if you hearken to all these instructions, if you hearken to what I say to you, man, you can live forever. He'll resurrect you from the dead. See, we talk about a lot of things, man, you know, and the first covenant is cool. But the first covenant wasn't built on eternal promises. And I don't understand why people don't understand that. I be wondering for people who don't believe in Mashiach, how do you reconcile a covenant that you broke? You just think saying I'm going to repent is going to deal with the covenant that's broken? Do you not understand your exile from the land is based off of you've been banished. This is what your book said. So I guess when you seen 2 Samuel 14 and he said he devised a means for the banished to return unto him, I guess you thought that just was a random statement. Oh, you waiting for, it's funny, they don't believe Yahshua the one that did it. You waiting for another nigga to come do it. Ain't nobody come to do it, man. It's already been done. But what you told the man who you say is your God is that the work that's already been done wasn't sufficient for you. because you didn't believe. That's why I say if you would have believed Moses, you would have believed me for he wrote of me. But if you ain't going to believe his writings, you ain't going to believe my word. That's why the man told you that. You right about that, Brother Herman. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of people don't understand that. And I don't understand how a lot of brew don't understand that it's not just about us as an individual sinning. Bro, the people broke the covenant. I don't understand. Like, do you understand that has to be reconciled? You've broken the covenant. I repent is not sufficient. Something has to be done. This is even before we go to talking about, sir, who's going to reverse what happened to Adam? Which is something that I see a lot of people don't like to discuss. Do you understand that even before Israel became a nation, that man had a problem? Man had a problem. You died. How are you going to reconcile that? But you know what I noticed? Don't nobody care about reconciling the curse. I remember I told the dude, I said, man, you don't know the curse of the law? He thought I was talking about Deuteronomy 28. I say, sir, absolutely not. I say, you don't know the curse of Adam. Show me the curse of Adam in the book. I said, if I got to show you that, bro, you don't need to be teaching nobody. Because just because I use some verbiage you can't read off the page, you supposed to have enough wisdom to know exactly what I was talking about. You supposed to know, oh, you talking about when he say dust you are and dust you shall return. Because that's the first curse you see in this book. Did he not say cursed? It would be the field. Ain't that what the man said? So I need to tell you. Oh, so it need to say that for you to know that. You ain't got enough wisdom to know that. Like, come on, man. Before there was an Israel boy, you had you got the curse he put on Adam. You think you being the Israelite stops the curse on Adam? Because it surely didn't. Because Abraham died, and Isaac died, and Jacob died, and all the 12 patriarchs died. And guess what? And you dying too, nigga. And he say there's no discharge in that battle. And he say your soul is precious. You can't redeem it. So your God said, I'll become a man and I'll do it for you. Because you can't do it. I'm the only one who can take this away from you because I got the one thing that you ain't got. And that's eternal life. You don't have that. So I'm going to give it to you. See, that's the blessing of obedience. That's how the fruit of his body get blessed out his womb. You understand? Because you know what we're going to have to hit on. I done spent too much time. We ain't even going to have time to go in depth for the people who ain't never heard about this man giving birth. Because he surely did what you think Adam did. He gave birth. That's why the Lord can give birth. Only different. What's the difference between Adam and the second Adam with giving birth, Civic? He didn't close up the Lord's rib side. He closed up Adam because Adam wasn't supposed to continually produce. Yahushua continually produce his offspring on a day-to-day basis. On a day-to-day basis. Give him Isaiah 66:5 on the high, man. Because if we talking about the blessings of the womb and one of the, because that's what Deuteronomy 28 say. Well, let's talk about it then. I got time.
Say, hear the word of Yahuwah, you that tremble at his word. Your brethren that hated you, that cast you out for my name's sake, said, let Yahuwah be esteemed, but he shall appear to your joy, and they shall be ashamed.
Come on.
A voice of noise from the city, a voice from the temple.
A voice of noise from where?
From the temple, or from the city, a voice from the temple.
Paul, wasn't it a great tumult going on? Hold on, let me show you something. I'm going to tell you something, man. If I can't do nothing else in life, by the grace of Elohim, I can do this right here. I can let you see the Lord in the book now. Now, whether you accept it or not, that's between you and him. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I know I'm fully persuaded. I can't do nothing but show you. See, a lot of people feel like they're going to make somebody see him. I ain't finna make you do nothing. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to give you this work, and you could take it, you could say, hey, you stretching it. You could say whatever. I don't care. Let me tell you something about me, man. And I thank the Lord for the mind of it. I don't give a damn what a nigga think about nothing what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I know where I got it from, so I don't care. If you accept it, praise be to Yahuwah. And if you don't, guess what? Praise be to Yahuwah. They don't make me no never mind. I'm going to still keep doing what I'm doing. So, live. Been doing it for 12 years. I don't see no reason to stop now. Ain't that what the old people say? I don't see no reading style. That ain't what I want. Jeremiah 7 ain't what I want. The verses is in my mind, but I need you to read this off the page with it. It'll come to my mind in a second. Where I asked you to go at?
Isaiah 66.
Now keep on reading.
Say a voice of noise from the city, a voice from the temple, a voice of Yahuwah that render recompense to his enemies.
The voice of Yahuwah that render recompense to his enemies.
Before she travailed, she brought forth.
Before she travailed, she did what?
Brought forth.
She did what?
Brought forth.
What she brought forth?
Before her pain came, she was delivered of a man child.
She was delivered of a man child.
Who have heard such a thing?
Who heard such a thing?
Who have seen such things?
Who saw that?
Shall the earth be made to bring forth in one day?
Shall the earth be made to bring forth in one day?
Or shall a nation be born at once?
Should a nation be born at what?
At once.
What else?
For as soon as Zion travailed, she brought forth her children.
As soon as she travailed, she brought forth a who?
Her children.
What else?
Shall I bring to the birth and not cause to bring forth?
Shall I bring to the birth and not call to bring forth?
Shall I cause to bring forth and shut, saith Yahuwah?
Shall I shut? Now, of course, they added womb, but you can see that he say, should I shut it? Why is this important? Because you know this is referring to what happened in Matthew. What happened in Matthew? Who recalls what happened in Matthew?
Pierce the side.
No. That's in John. Who knows what happened in Matthew as forth is in regards to, should I bring forth the birth? Shall a nation be born in one day? Who recalls? We ain't talked about it in a while, but we talked about it a lot. So somebody should remember. Yeah, it was Jeremiah 7, but what it was something else. I can't use that right now. Nobody don't remember? Go to Matthew chapter 28. I said 28, my bad, that's 27. Go to Matthew 27:50.
So Yahushua, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the Ruach.
Mm-hmm.
And behold, the veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and the rocks rent.
What happened after
the graves were open, and many bodies.
Was open?
The graves were open, and many bodies of the saints which slept arose and came out of the graves after his resurrection, and went into the Kadash city and appeared unto many.
Now, when you read John 19, of course, you know that's when the side got hit. And of course, you know in John 20, he told what his name is, Thomas, stick your hand in and be not faithless, but believing. Because he didn't close it up. He didn't close it up because guess what? All the men who resurrected from the dead, guess who they born of? Guess what happens when you born again? Guess who you born of? Let's get 1 John 5:1 on the house. Of course, y'all know what's in Isaiah 26 about it, giving birth and dead men living with your dead body. Y'all know about it. This is the abridged version. The long version is it's on one. It's somewhere on this time, man. I don't be remembering this stuff. First John 5:1, because what that was about a couple weeks ago, Emma was playing the first installment in this right here. I think that's the first time I ever sit down with somewhere and heard the entirety of a video, because I do not go back and watch nothing for no other reason. Because for me, that junk would be weird. It's just weird if I'm gonna sit here and listen to myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying nobody, because I know some people do that for their own reasons. You know what I'm saying? Just for me, that's weird. I can't sit here and just watch or listen to myself. Just me personally. It's just weird to me. I can't speak for other people. Go ahead, man. Not that it's weird to do, it's just weird for me.
It said, whosoever believe that Yahushua is the Mashiach is born of Elohim, everyone that love him, that begat love, him also that is begotten of him.
He said they born of who?
Born of Elohim.
Okay.
By this we know that we love the children of Elohim when we love Elohim and keep his commandments.
Mm-hmm.
For this is the love of Elohim, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
They're not what?
Not grievous.
What else?
For whatsoever is born of Elohim overcome the world. This is the victory that overcome the world, our faith.
See, you born of Elohim. If you born out Mashiach, guess who you born out of? This is the blessings of the womb and the blessings of the fruit of your body, because the fruit of your body is the parade of Batan, or the womb. That man gonna bless your offspring. Didn't he just say the children are the inheritance of Yahuwah? Didn't he say blessed is a man who have his quiver full of them? Don't Revelation 7 say there's a multitude of people which no man can number? He got a quiver full of children. Sons and daughters, because he said Joseph is a fruitful bow. John 15:1. This man a fruitful bow. Meaning this man produced children. He produced sons. See, remember, I'm reiterating this here because we talked about that Wednesday. Man, ladies, don't y'all listen to these pussy niggas telling you that you can't be a daughter of God. That's a lie from hell. The law say different. The law say different. Remember, when you read Genesis 30, when it mentioned Joseph's name, it say Elohim is taking away my reproach. There's no man on this earth that can take away your dishonor, baby. That's reserved for Elohim and Elohim alone. Don't let them boys try to hit you with that Isaiah 4:1 talking about you could take, no man on this earth can take away your reproach. Because the book says sin is a reproach to any people. So how can a man take away sin from you? It's only one man who did that. And it ain't none of these slew-footed, dirty foot. I'm talking about I don't wash underneath my balls looking niggas. Niggas out here with a throw rug on, talking about he got a garment on. Don't listen to these niggas, man. Now, when people tell you, do you got to go through a man to get the word? Obviously, because you got to go to him who got it. That man say you can't hear without a preacher, so that's common sense. But you don't have to be married to that man to get it. Stop letting these boys try to tell you you making your salvation contingent on him putting his little wee-wee on you. Because if he cared about your soul, he wouldn't be trying to lay with you or wife you if that's what he was concerned with. Now, it's different if he say, I like you and I want you. And we can do this the easy way. Or we can do this the hard way. That's different if he declare that from the jump street. See, stop fooling with them boys talking about, let me show you these precepts and all this, that, there, and the third. And really, he trying to butter you up to make you think he godly so he can butter you up. It's different if he let it be known, hey, man, that boy cut on that Roger Troutman. You know what song I'm talking about? You don't know about Roger Troutman? You might need to leave. Boop, you know what song I'm talking about? That boy cut on that Roger Troutman. He gonna start saying, I want to be your man. I want to be your man. He said, when dude asked me in the room about that verse about multiple wives. Like I told y'all, man. Say smooth as or like I told y'all, man. I'm not here to argue with a nigga about multiple wives. I just don't care. It's 2024, man. I'm not going back and forth battling about no doctor. Niggas was doing that 12, 13 years ago. I don't care what you do. If you ask me my stance on it, I'll share it with you. I'm not an advocate for it. You know what I'm talking about? Because we look at all the sons of God. They had one wife. The only one who didn't was a man who got tricked into it, and we know that was for testimony purposes. So yeah, but I'm not finna look. You can't tell. I ain't gonna tell you nothing. All I'm gonna tell you is, my nigga, if you want 3, 4 wives, bro, be a man and say that. Stop living clandestinely, my nigga. Live your life in the open, my G. I thought you was a man. Men don't do stuff in the dark, my nigga. And men don't lie about the life they want to live. Because if you want 3, 4 wives and you lying about it, that might make me think you like men and you lying about it. Because what you lying for? What you creeping for? Nigga, be a man, let your nuts hang and say, hey, man, I'm going to have 2, 3 women, baby. That's what it is. You scared she going to leave? You a buster. You lying, you a sucker. You a lame, you green bean looking nigga. What you doing, bro? You niggas lame for that. It's just like, there's no excuse for that, bro. We ain't even got to be in the word for that. You lying, bro, for some coochie? All your credibility is gone, bro. As a man, before we even talk about you lying for some coochie, bro. That's not pimping. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing to play about none of that, my G. You know what I'm saying? Real niggas don't be walking around here telling no lies to get no women, bro. And if you listening to dudes who telling you that you should lie to get women or just do this, that, there, and the third, that nigga a buster. When is whoever lied to get what he want, man? We don't lie to get what we want. What you doing that for? And then you using the word to do it? Well, you ought to go to hell. You know what I'm saying? You ought to go to hell. There's no excuse. What you doing all that for, man? That's insane, bro. It's insane. You know what I'm saying? Because we just had that conversation the other day, but I will tell you this here, man. In general, most men want more than one woman. They just not going to tell you that. They've been conditioned to not tell you that because they feel like they'll be ridiculed for it. You know what I'm saying? Just because that's what most men want don't mean that most men going to get it or act on that. But yeah, they do. And you can call them whatever you want to call them. But it's just the reality of life. See, sometimes when I be telling people stuff, man, they think that that's my personal point of view. I'm just telling you what's real. It doesn't matter if you agree with it or you don't agree with it. It's not changing the fact that that's what's happening. Or that's what it is. Get you 200. Man, look at, man, the only dudes who going to tell you they really, really good with their wife when they be like, boy, I got me a winner. Boy, I don't need to be worrying about no other woman. And most men don't feel that way. They might tell their friends that. They just not going to tell their old lady that. Because they don't want to deal with what come along with that when they tell her that. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's just what it is. Y'all might walk around thinking, I miss everything. He don't think that. He just not going to tell you that. He's just not going to tell you that. You ain't got to believe me. I'm just telling you, that's what it is. Does that mean every man want more than one woman? No. Because if you got more than one woman, you got to take care of them women, man. And some dudes be like, no, I don't want to do that. Some dudes just want the vagina without the responsibility. He's a buster. That even if he ain't got more than one, if he only got one, he a sucker. He want to hit it, but he don't want to take care of you. You know, that's not the godly way. You slide up in them yams, boy, you got to take care of that woman, man. You got to wipe that woman. You got to take care of her. If not, stop knocking her down. It's really that simple. We make this thing, it's not that difficult. But yeah, man, I don't care what you do with your wee, bro. Shoot, get you 22 women. You take it up with the Lord when you see him. So let me know how it work out for you. That's it. Because these boys be seeming like they get mad because niggas don't. Bro, I don't care.
I still be seeing people say, man, stop letting people tell you not to have multiple wives. That's your God-given right. That's me.
Yeah. I mean, look at that's a whole nother conversation, bro. That go to what we were talking about earlier. I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of these women out here, they don't want a man, they want a woman. And they want you to be like a woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you right now, man, if you're dealing with a woman, man, and she's trying to feminize you, you need to leave that woman alone. Because you a man. You shouldn't be wanting to do what women do. And you shouldn't let a woman come into a masculine space and feminize it. And you could take that and you could feel however you want to feel about it. But I'm not doing what women do because I'm a man. I don't want to do what you do. I have no desire to do what you do. I have no desire to think like you. I have no desire to behave like you. I don't want to do anything like that. And it's not because there's something wrong with you. It's because I'm a man. I'm not a woman. I don't want to know what it feels like to be a woman because I'm not one. That's it. There's nothing more to it than that. Because if I was a woman, I wouldn't want to know what it is to be a man. I wouldn't want to think like a man. I wouldn't want to do like a man because I'm not a man. If I was a woman, like, come on, man, it's really that simple. It's not that hard. Some people get offended by that. What I got to do with me? I still ain't finna do nothing women do. Give a damn. That ain't in my blood. My daddy wasn't like that. My granddaddy wasn't like that. My uncle ain't like that. It ain't in my blood. Now, some of my uncles smoke crack. I ain't got nothing to do with that. None of my uncle police are. He ain't like that either. I don't want to be like that. And I wouldn't care what anybody had to say to try to shame me or belittle me into being something that I don't want to be. I don't want to do that. I'm going to tell y'all something, man. Me and Fat Boy the same way. And you should be like this with this word in every area in your life. Once you tell a nigga no, your answer should be no every time. It shouldn't matter what they say, how they say it, how they come at you. You should stand on what you say you don't want to do. Because if you fold on it, that means you really wanted to do it. And you should have just said yeah the first time. You know what I'm talking about? If that ain't what you want to do, that's not. I'm telling you, I don't give a damn how many times you ask me. My answer ain't changing. If I said no, nigga, I meant no. I don't want to do that. And I ain't doing it. Stop asking. That's with anything. I don't want to do it. I ain't doing it. And I don't care who you are. It's only one person under heaven and on this earth that I won't tell no to, and that's Yahuwah. Anything he want me to do, I want to do it. Because I know it's going to be for his esteem. I ain't got no problem with that. But you niggas on this earth, you niggas who flesh and blood, if it's something I don't want to do, I ain't doing it. And guess what? If I ask you to do something and you say you don't want to do it, I ain't going to be like, nigga, you ought to do it for me. I ain't going to ask you why you don't want to do it. None of my business. You said no. And I ain't going to be mad at you. You don't owe me nothing. You know what I'm saying? You don't owe me nothing. You don't owe me an explanation. You know why? Because I figured if you could do it, you would do it. So if you can't, you probably got a very good reason why you can't. And you don't owe me no explanations why. You know what I'm saying? It's just like what Trick Daddy said. If I ain't got it, what, I ain't your dog no more? Well, if that's the case, well, I ain't got it then. Because your love for somebody shouldn't be contingent on what they can or can't do for you. So somebody can't do something, that mean they don't love you? You that entitled? You that selfish? Nobody don't got to do nothing for you. That's why I put that up that other day, man. Do things from out of love, not for love, because a lot of y'all do stuff to get love. Stop doing that. You're hurting yourself. Come on, man.
John 15:1.
Come on with it.
I'm the true vine, and my Abba is the husbandman. Every branch in me that bear not fruit, he take away, and every that bear fruit, he purges, that it may bring forth more.
He said,
fruit.
everybody who in him who don't bear no fruit, he kick. What you think taking away? You think he take you till you go in your room? That man kick. He gonna do you like that fig tree. He gonna say, "Dung it, you worthless." He said, "But if you bring forth more fruit, he gonna purge you to produce more." Read it again.
I'm the true vine, and my Abba is the husbandman. Every branch in me that bear not fruit, he take away, and every that bear fruit, he purge it. That
Remember,
it
said
forth
Joseph
more
was
fruit.
a fruitful bowl. He said, tell him what purge is in that Greek. He tell him, man, he purged it so that it could produce more fruit. That's how he a fruitful bowl, producing sons.
That's kathairo. That's to cleanse of filth and purity, to prune trees and vines from useless shoots.
Look at what he doing. If he purging you, man, he getting all that sin up out you. That's how he a fruitful bowl. That's how he get the blessings of the womb and the blessings from heaven and the blessings of the grave. Because all that useless stuff we got on us, he getting rid of that so you can produce proper fruit. What is that? You purging yourself from the works of the flesh so that you could believe and receive the Ruach HaKodesh, so you could manifest the fruits of the Ruach and therefore bring forth fruit. I told you, man, nigga talking about fruit is buying land and planting this and planting that. That's not the fruit of God. He never said that. Remember, I told you, man, we had niggas coming at us about that 6-7 years ago. Where your fruit at? Fruit these nuts, nigga. You can run that on somebody who don't know the word, nigga. Nigga, that's not what this book say, fruit, nigga. The fact that you telling me where the fruit at and you talking about what you doing versus what God say to do, I know God ain't with you. I ain't got to run around and tell people God ain't with you. I know I'm interacting with you. You coming at me talking about where your fruit at? We got fruit. And you talking about land and crops. When the Lord say by their fruit, you gonna know him. And I know that he ain't talking about no land and crops. I know God ain't with you. I don't take you seriously. Not about this right here. I ain't got to say nothing. I got enough wisdom to know God ain't with him. I'm not listening to you no more. When I say not listening to you no more, I'm not going, that don't mean you couldn't say something beneficial, but I'm not going to hold you as God gave you a word or sent you. Because that's not what he told me to look for. What you just gave me was pride and carnality. You know what I'm talking about? You gave me vainglory. You gave me something that you can't really manifest the power of God that's in you. So I know God not with you. Because when he declared his name, he didn't declare that I plant crops and buy land. I'm telling you, I'm not talking about nobody in 2024. I'm talking about what a nigga said to me and Trav in 2017, 2018, 2019. You understand what I'm telling you? Yeah, I ain't talking about nothing in 2024. I'm talking about something from 5, 6, 7 years ago. Niggas sizing us. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I cuss them niggas out in the only way that I can because that's what they deserve. Because I ain't with none of that stuff, man. Let me tell you something, man. These people bank on the fact you don't know no word. He said, I don't have patience for such a bad idea. I understand, Brother Nate, man. Let me tell y'all something, man. That's why I be pressing y'all to know the word for real. Because people will exploit and take advantage of your ignorance. You know what I'm saying? You need to know what the man tell you to look for to identify who he fool with and who he don't fool with. I'm not telling you to know the word so you can debate a nigga. If that's your lane, that's your lane. I ain't telling you to learn the word so you could teach a nigga. If that's your lane, that's your lane. I'm telling you the word so you can save your soul, so you can recognize who's a Yahuwah and who is not. The other stuff fall into place when it fall into place. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up down. Because if you don't, these people gonna take advantage of you. Because they gonna know you don't know. Come on, man. It's after midnight.
He said, now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. Abide in me, and I in you. As a branch cannot bear fruit of itself, except it abide in the vine.
Except it abide where?
In the vine.
What else?
No more can you, except you abide in me.
That's right.
I am the vine, you the branches. He that abide in me, and I in him, the same bring forth much fruit. For without me, you can do nothing.
If you ain't in this, man, you can't do absolutely nothing. We don't start right now. I just realized this after midnight. So hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. I appreciate y'all. Now bless y'all at the house of Elohim in the name of Yahushua, man. I appreciate y'all riding out at this late hour. I know I was about 20 minutes behind, but we went about 30 to 40 minutes longer than usual. Well, usually it wouldn't be that bad if we was pre-daylight saving time, whatever you call it. You know what I'm talking about? Remember what Pentecost, what, the 25th, 26th, whatever that is, man? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I think the money due on the 18th for the feast. So keep that in mind. No, just weigh and consider, man. We still got a lot of things to do. I'm not rushing through this. So we want to take each thing that he said will be blessed in obedience, step by step. And if we have to exhaust stuff, we have to exhaust it. But definitely make sure, man, you don't get caught up, not just with strange women, but with strange friends, strange family members. Be careful about the people you're fooling with, man. Everybody don't got your best interests at heart, man. And everybody don't care about your soul. I ain't going to tell you that somebody who ain't in the word don't care about your soul. You know what I'm talking about? Because there's some people who ain't in the word who respect what you're doing, and they wouldn't want to cast a snare to cause you to fall. You know what I'm saying? Because they may not be moving to save their soul, but they respect you for doing that. That's because they respect you. Most of the time, people respect you based off the respect you had for yourself before you were dealing with the word. Most people don't respect you because you didn't respect yourself before you were in the word, and you don't respect yourself while you're in it. So they don't respect what you got going on. Then some people just are completely rude, disrespectful, rotten scoundrels. And you shouldn't be fooling with them anyway, word or not. You know what I'm saying? 100% honest. You know what I'm saying? Because them people don't care about you. But if don't worry about who don't care about you. Just know that Yahuwah care about you, and prayerfully you care about yourself. You know what I'm saying? But make sure you teach your kids, man. You know what I'm saying? Give them the game young, man. You know what I'm saying? Reinforce the game that you're giving when you give it to them. Then after that, man, let Yahuwah do what he do, man. Let the chips fall what they may. You did your part. And they ain't never too young for no game. Don't walk around here thinking I'm gonna wait till he's such and such. Hey, man, you want to get him game young, man. I don't know what they do in this generation, man. When we were young, boy, them old niggas gave us the game young. It wasn't no, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no, oh, he too young for this here. You better get it to them young, man. They'll be sharper than their peers. You know what I'm saying? If your kids, especially your son, if your son's sharp, look at, man, little boys will try to corrupt other little boys. You know what I'm saying? You have to remember, little boys are seeking to exert dominance. Then little boys seek to be a part of a peer group where they can be accepted. So that's why you see a lot of times young men participate in certain activities because they want to be accepted. If any man on here sit here and tell you that men don't participate in fraternal type of groups and do things to be accepted, they lying to you. It's only a handful of men who don't care for being accepted. If you're in any type of vocation, man, look here, man. Dope boys want to be accepted by other dope boys, just like athletes want to be accepted by athletes and players. You know what I'm saying? It's whatever you got going on. You want to be acknowledged by your peers. That's what we mean by being accepted. Oh, praise Yahuwah indeed, man. Look here, shoot, he ain't got no choice. He got to be nasty with that word, man. My son got to be nice with the word. There's no choice. Because this is what his father does. So that's what I got to teach him. Now, whether that's Yahuwah's will for him to be a preacher is between him and the Lord. Because I ain't got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? By the time that boy will probably be ready to talk about being a preacher, I'll probably be in my grave. Be 100% honest with you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, teach your sons, man. Because little boys want to be accepted. It's a lot of young men. They never cared about being accepted, but ain't nobody out here talking about they ain't want no friends. Anybody tell you they ain't want no friends is a lie. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want friends. Don't nobody want to go through life by themselves. Only people who want to go through life by themselves are people who've been hurt, and that's a defense. That's a defense mechanism. That's a trauma response. Human beings don't have the natural inclination to want to be alone. See, I'm not talking about times where you want to be by yourself. I'm talking about wanting to be alone. That's not normal. It's not normal at all. You know what I'm saying? But guard your heart, man. Ponder your path of your feet, man. Don't get caught up here in this nonsense, man. Y'all with it, man. I'm going to catch y'all on tomorrow, man. Y'all hold it down. You know what I'm talking about? I'm going to get at you, man. I'm going to bed. Yeah, that's what he said, brother.